Hey, what's up guys? My name is Holly and welcome back to Chronicle. This is the home where we get together, tell some awesome stories with obviously some of my favourite people. So today we're going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It's tradition now for me to say it, but I got bullied. First time I tried to explain D&D to you, so if you don't know, get to know. It's not on me, sis.
That's the catchphrase, guys.
That's the catchphrase, we're calling it.
Then why are they here?
It's too bad. Couple of things before we get started. It's been a while since we've been in this world, so we're going to be returning back to Cathora for our main campaign. This is a homebrew setting, so won't be in any modules, but you'll learn as you go along with the players. Another thing also, we have a new person joining us here at the table. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Jack, and I'm playing...
You can say it if you want to, you don't have to.
A character called Dilbert. He is a kobold, and he loves dragons.
I'm very much looking forward to saying, you're up next, Dilbert. So, yep, Jack's going to be joining us for the foreseeable future, hopefully forever. Wave?
There's Jack.
He waved before, you missed it.
We did actually miss it.
Anyway. So yeah, I think, does anybody else have any announcements before we get into just a quick little rundown of what we missed last time? So, if you haven't watched our last two sessions?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. It's been a very long time. Essentially, our adventuring party here has been framed for releasing some killer beetles onto the town, so they're trying to clear their name and searching for some answers in amongst some wheat fields where they battled some wheat blights last session. If you'd like to go back and watch the videos, you can check out our archive videos on YouTube at Chronicle Stream, I want to say is the name. Yes, Chronicle Stream. Confidence is key.
We know our own stuff.
So yeah, please go and check those out. It'd mean a lot to us, and we would, we'd all love you even more. There you go. So you should do it. But yeah.
Like your father never did.
If that's not love.
Off to a great start.
If that's not love.
Moving swiftly on. I think we're about ready to get into tonight's session. Let's go. Racing through fields of gold, the strands of wheat whipping mercilessly at the exposed skin of its attacker, leaving seed heads clinging to bits of fabric and impaling their skin. Young, burgeoning wheat stalks branch outwards, not yet strong enough to spiral upwards towards the sun, are trampled and break as they're squashed in the relentless rampage of this foot race through the fields. Sweat beads at the brow of the pursuer, blood dripping down from a thin cut high on their cheekbone, seeds clinging to their arms and legs as they narrowly dodge in between bunches of wheat. Rustling stalks as they push past, their vision focused entirely on their prey. The swishing sound piquing the interest of farmers in nearby fields as they cast anxious looks over their shoulders at the depressions made in the wheat in the wake of this chase. With the erratic pounding of their heart in their ears and the rush of blood drowning out the world around them, their footsteps are reduced to dull thudding against the overturned soil, cluttered with decomposing and trampled wheat stalks and seeds, keeping time with their heartbeat. As they close in on their prey, looking over their shoulder once to check for another pursuant, the glinting of purple eyes catches the sunlight hanging heavy in the sky, and a guttural growl rips from their throat. Desperately trying to push their legs to sprint further and faster, they draw closer and closer to their target. Vaulting over a fallen tree trunk, their prey stumbles and falls onto one knee as they land, pivoting suddenly for a final showdown. They scramble to their feet. Desperately trying to propel themselves forward again, stumbling over their feet as they attempt to catch their attacker by surprise. Tears and tears show in their golden strands knit together by the arcane. An aggravated roar bellows out from their pursuant as they charge outwards towards each other. One with their staff held at the ready and the other with sharpened claws dripping with blood and gore. As their footsteps begin to pound along the dirt of the wheat fields, heading closer and closer to each other, Their attacker drops down to a crouch, sweeping towards their knees and drawing a hiss from the wounded wheat blight before them. Swinging wildly with claws extended, they catch briefly on the skin of their enemy before they're knocked backwards with a brutal blow to the torso that knocks the wind from their lungs. Drawing in a desperate breath, they attempt to steel themselves against the onslaught of punches and strikes of the staff that besieges them. Scrabbling to land scratches and gouge out the eyes of their attacker, the staff once again connects with their torso, a sickening crack sounding from where it strikes against the ribcage, sending tufts of wheat flying into the air in its wake. Skidding to a stop behind their prey, gravel and dust flies upwards into a cloud around the heels of their attacker. With a confident smirk, sharp fangs glint in the early afternoon sunlight as they release a calming breath and pivot to face the worn-out wheat blight gasping for breath. Charging once more, they feint to the left, ducking down below the flailing strike of the blight before slamming their staff into its side, completely carving through its centre. With a final gasp of breath and a strangled scream, the wheat blight dissipates into a cloud of golden strands, fine and gently floating towards the ground and settling amongst bunches of wheat. Releasing their own calming breath, the figure turns towards the wheat field, ducking through a corridor of golden strands as they approach a clearing, filled with chatter and the sound of metal clanging together and blazes being set. Peeking through the fields of wheat, the figure watches as a ragtag group of colourful individuals surrounds a broken and chipped cart, exchanging blows with wheat blights before eventually dispatching them. As they cluster together, releasing sighs of relief and tending to their wounds, the group glances around at each other and the area around them. What would you all like to do?
Did anybody know what those things were? They were like crops, but people.
I believe the crops were weird, as you guys continue to say. The gold grass, right?
Yeah, wheat.
Wheat?
But wheat's not meant to come alive like that.
No.
It's meant to be like the rest of this.
Something tells me this is doubtlessly connected to the amulet.
Surely. Do you know what that thing is, by the way?
Not the slightest idea.
Great. Oh, is anybody else hurt?
I do I have any? I probably don't. Any more bandits left, so.
I think you used the last one on me, honestly.
Last bit.
I think it saved me from dying. So thanks.
Oh,
thanks for
yeah.
that.
Here to help.
Yeah, June, you look kind of rough, man.
Yeah, she'll be right.
Do we think that that necklace has something to do with, I don't know, the Beatles at all? So, first they come after us because of, well, you waking up, and then we're being attacked due to some other magical thing looking for Octavius. There's too many coincidences all at once. I don't know.
I feel like that it might not be a coincidence by definition. I think they might be related.
I definitely have no clue what's going on at all.
Did anyone see where that last wheat blight ran to?
That way?
The one that fled?
But that way.
I assume it's part of the wheat field again.
You think it just magically became a part of the wheat field again?
Well, it magically came out of the wheat field.
Yeah. I second that.
That
You think
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Again? Why would it just turn into wheat again?
Why did it turn into a thing?
Because of the magic amulet. That's literally what we just said. We know this thing.
Can I search the car?
So the
Yeah,
big
well,
yellow
yeah.
grass attacked us because of a what?
The amulet. The
That-
thing.
the thing that
he
Ain't Einstein.
has right there.
The one from the spectral plane.
Oh! I didn't know what an amulet was. I had no idea what you were talking
15.
about the whole time.
The now overturned cart that was, I guess it's upright now. It was overturned.
Yeah, I lifted it up.
You lifted it, yeah. You can see that the wood is splintered in places. It looks like there's been a heavy impact in one side to knock it over initially. It seems mostly intact though, though some of its contents in barrels have been spilled outwards. It looks as if it's
What kind of stuff?
It's mostly produce. So there's a couple of wheels of cheese. There's also apples, So you rolled a 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see wedged under one of the carts, there's a flyer that seems to be water stained from the rain. Kind of torn in some places. Looks a little bit worse for wear, as if it's been kind of shoved underneath this cart for a very long time.
Well, it's a flower.
So you pull it out?
Yep.
So I'm going to assume that you're not trying to just pull it straight out. You lift the...
Yeah.
Sure. So as you pull it out, you see a very familiar face looking back at you. It appears to be a caricature of Octavius. And you can see that this flyer in particular is a wanted poster. And it appears to be from Rombellium. And the full name is Octavius Folhan, Folhan. And it implies that there's a decent bounty of 500 gold pieces on his head, wanted for theft and fraud.
Guys, I found our friend. Look, it's Octavius. He is wanted. Who wants him?
That means he's in trouble with the law.
That makes sense for the fraud and the theft.
Yeah. Guys, we get some we could get some real money out of this. All right. Oh, is this like a real adventure now?
Money to buy more vegetables?
Like the eggplant.
Yes!
Are you
Yes.
holding the amulet? Did you roll
Like
an
what you
arcane
called pork.
arcana check?
I think I did, yeah.
Yummy
You
Probably
mentioned-
from the school.
That was a vegetable, right?
Oh my god, that's right.
That was from your spell. That was from your spell, so you can't say.
Didn't end up doing the spell because I don't have the ingredients for it.
No, your not your identify spell. Your
Oh, the. Oh, you're right.
I tell you the. So do you remember if you rolled an arcana check or not?
Did I roll an arcana? Well, we can roll one now.
Roll one now.
Roll an arcana check now.
19.
19. That's pretty good. Looking at this necklace before you, you know that now it's from the spectral planes of Moran. However, you do notice that the center of this necklace appears to shift in place, almost as if it's clicking together, like there's gears inside this kind of glass opening that houses the rest of the necklace. And observing it for a second, you get the sense that this necklace, being the School of Transmutation, might have had something to do with changing the properties of a creature. So disguising it as something else, perhaps, or maybe even changing the physical properties of a creature into something else. Okay.
Makes no sense for something that's from the School of Transmutation.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sharing this picture
I don't think I have anything particularly interesting to say about it.
or tomato?
No offense. It's from the School of Transmutation. I think I already shared that with the group, right?
Okay.
You rolled a 19, yeah? You get the sense that this necklace also has recently been used. There appears to be a kind of magical residue on
Ew. Is it sticky or dry?
it. No, it's just
Like a vibe?
not a physical residue.
Okay.
There is an aura of magic that seems as if it's just been used.
Do we get a sense of when we can reuse it, or if we can use it again?
With a 19, no, you wouldn't.
Does it require rubber to be used again?
You'd need an identify spell, I would say.
Well, this necklace appears to have been used recently.
Okay.
How recently, I'm not sure.
Oh.
I mean, with this we do have the evidence to at least give a strong inkling it is Octavius rather than us. Then we could use this to clear our name, especially with the wanted poster. I mean, he's already a criminal.
So, is this his cart then?
I do not think so.
Why would he carry a crystal?
Maybe he's removing them so people don't assume he's
Perhaps he was a captive?
He could be a bounty hunter, or that could have been a bounty hunter's cop, maybe. I mean,
Perhaps he used the necklace to escape.
He turned to what? The wheat line,
Oh my gosh.
Wait, maybe the necklace made the wheat blights.
oh my god, that's crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah!
I'm so smart sometimes. Can't the big wheat things. The big wheat monsters we fought.
The totally other grass.
The grass. We'll just call them grass monsters.
A9?
What does the damage on the cart look like? Does it look like it could have been caused by wheat blights? Or...
It seems too heavy for one singular wheat blight to have caused the impact on the side of the cart, though multiple wheat blights could have. I mean, you roll an investigation check, but you suppose they could have all together tried to.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
It's nice having someone smart.
Good rolls.
Yeah, that is a good roll. You almost get the sense that the impact on the side was something akin to a battering ram or a heavy creature slamming into its side. With your 20 though, you do notice that there are footsteps leading towards a wheat field on the right hand side. It appears that it's been recent rain has kind of obscured it a little bit, so you're not too sure how long they've been there, unless you want to roll a survival check.
One shot?
They seem relatively fresh though.
Yeah, not one.
Not your area of expertise. Looks like a set of footprints though that are discernible towards a wheat field. You do also notice though with your 20 that there are what appears to be blood splatters and a kind of dragging impression left in the dirt.
Do I see you checking out the footprints? Is it obvious?
I assume so if you're just kind of searching around the area.
I'm just looking around.
You woke up yesterday. That's someone who's been around for at least 16 years, I'm guessing. Deal with this.
I feel like I'm prepared.
That's right.
Yep.
I have been hiking mountains. I have found so many things. I have been over more of the earth. Which check am I doing, by the way?
Survival.
Survival. I have been over more things than you have seen in your lifetime cumulative. I'm talking about when you were awake and asleep. That's all that.
You can definitely see that they're heading in the same direction that A9 was able to make out. But June, you do also notice that they don't appear to be human.
Can I do survival actually?
That would be a nature check, I would say.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see how my theoretical knowledge transfers to the real world. That's 12.
12? There appears to be talons. Seems like a similar shape to something draconic. That's as much as you get.
Do you guys have dragons in this world? Like we have dragons.
Dragons?
Like, well, these footprints are like dragon footprints, but small.
I don't.
Is this something
Small dragons? I mean, there's dragonborn. You know, they're people like anybody else.
I think there's a traveler. He was like a dragon person. He was very exciting.
Oh,
He was talk of the city. Well, I think
So why is there a dragon? Wait, this is already weird. Why is there a dragon person in the wheat fields? And why?
It's a feet print. It's a feet
They
print.
were in the wheat field then.
I mean, we can follow them.
But what if they're not nice? What if it's Octavius disguised as a dragon? And he was using the necklace to hide his real form.
Why don't we follow these footsteps and find out?
Yeah, like what's the huge difference? Like, the only
I was
difference.
shooting to the
We
Chronicle
just
and
got
see if
into
it
a
is
big fight!
Let's just go.
Well, if you're too scared,
No,
you're talking more than you stay.
no.
Oh, yeah, this is better than
Yeah. No, I'm
Alright, then
not
who
scared.
wants to come follow us?
I'm leading the way now. I'm following the footprints.
Alright,
Is
behind this
dragon
wall.
a purse?
There are dragons.
It's a being. Like,
They're beings, yeah.
Beings, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, they're beings.
They have talent. Foot sized.
Foot size? Small?
Small foot sized.
Yeah?
It's like cougar foot, but with claws.
Ah.
So very small.
Yeah.
Just look at my bare feet.
I'm sorry, but this is true.
It's fine.
You should get boots. Look, might
No.
be a different point.
No. Kidding? How would I do that? That's so disrespectful.
Not to wear shoes?
No. Well, only the really higher end, halflings sort of wear shoes and stuff, but
Why can't you wear them?
because I am an adventurer and I like to get dirty and fight.
Does it
Monsters.
not hurt your feet?
No.
We were warned at the academy that it leads to something called trench foot.
My people have evolved over time to have
With your
tough
20,
feet.
you notice that
So-
the direction of the blood and the dragging is different to the footsteps.
I get out my notes and
I
start
should have
writing
mentioned that
notes.
earlier. I
Half-lady
don't think I
foot
did though.
have strong skin.
And lots of hair.
Hair is...
Remember when we did the footsteps?
Ah,
Yeah.
sorry, I was distracted. It's
That
so
way.
fascinating.
Yeah.
None of our textbooks at the academy in Nazis.
I think while they wander off, despite saying I was going to leave the chat, I might linger around.
Are you coming?
Just one moment, I think I see something else that might be of interest.
Bye.
Yeah, so who's going? Everyone else?
Yeah.
No
I'll
worries.
split the decision. I'll stay in the building.
And he has the
Yes. So, as you guys head towards the wheat fields, you notice that there is a shape kind of rustling within the direction of the footsteps within the wheat field.
I put across my
I'll draw my sword.
In the general direction of it?
Yeah, in the
Is
shop.
it another tall yellow grass monster?
Look, there's a good chance it might be, but
It is a shame. We should first ask questions.
could be
Later.
Octavius, we don't know.
Why am I
Can I,
not-
can I run and try and steal them from him?
Okay, yeah. Roll a stealth check first.
That will be
Contesting our perception or our passive perception.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say you're watching it closely, so it'll be contesting your perception. So yeah, all of you roll.
Wow.
Or you can do
That's a 16.
That's a 4.
okay.
That's already.
So Abelard definitely notices that the shape appears to be. So Abelard, what you notice is
So +5.
the fields
Meets it, beats it.
the fields of wheat are kind of obscuring the direct view of this figure. Though you can see a shape that's kind of similar size and height to Kruger. Kind of just darting through the fields, but Nadria, it's running towards. It's still running through the wheat field, but definitely much closer to the edge, and seems to be heading in the direction of A9. Nadria, being a little bit taller than the wheat fields themselves, despite this character kind of crouching down, you can see a shape. Jack, would you like to introduce your character, please?
Do I say what I'm doing?
Yeah, you can, or you can just introduce what your character looks like.
My character is a small 2'2" purple, red purple, not scrolly, but also not built. Just kind of somewhere in between.
Lean.
Yeah, lean, with good posture. Specifically.
That's key.
Crouching, but really good posture. So just
If he had bad posture, it would be 2 foot, but he's 2'2", so. And I'm currently crouching in the bush, but in the wheat, running towards A9 with an undefined purpose.
I'm gonna yell, hey man, watch out! And I'm gonna throw a crossbow at it.
at the shape, okay.
We just fought with blades. There's something in the bushes who have a trained soldier.
Okay.
That's bad.
Roll an attack roll. Is it disadvantage if it's a moving target? I think it is. I'm not too sure actually. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Just roll an attack roll. We'll see.
That's a 16.
I have mine is 16.
Okay, it hits you.
Yeah,
So-
if it meets it, it beats it.
You want to describe what happens as you fight? You're just gonna straight up fire
You
across.
just see me like track for a second and I pull the trigger.
Oh my god!
As you guys are all kind of watching this shape move through and hearing the shh of the wheat fields kind of swaying, you watch as Abelard pulls out the crossbow, loads it with scary efficiency, points the trigger, and
That's 9 damage.
unleashes. You can hear the and it hits you.
I don't.
Why'd you do that?
He's trying to get the game.
Were the wheat blights crying?
That hurt.
I don't remember them talking last time.
What? In
I
the name-
crawl on one side. Prone, I crawl out of the weed.
Yep. You guys watch as, having just impaled what appears to be the shape that's wandering its way through the wheat fields, the scream of pain, kind of a guttural growl you can hear. It's kind of just shuffling noise as this figure slowly emerges, just crawling with one hand kind of limply, the crossbow bolt stuck into the back of the shoulder blade, kind of bleeding, emerging from the wheat fields.
Why'd you do that?
You were running at my friend.
I just wanted the pendant. I didn't think you guys needed it.
We thought you were a tall yellow grass monster.
No,
Don't
I
scare us like
just
that.
killed one of those guys.
Oh!
I was being
Wait,
attacked as
by
well.
yourself?
Yeah. I just killed one.
Why did you want to
That's
do
cool.
this?
It seemed about as good as any place to start looking.
Looking for.
That's none of your business.
Well, it kind of is our business now that you're trying to push towards our friend.
Well, I had no intentions of hurting anyone, and I just got shot, so I'm the one who needs an
Well, why are you
explanation.
falling through the wheat field when you know there are monsters in
Why are you guys in a wheat field?
Why are you in a wheat field?
I don't know.
Well, then get out.
Hang on. I'll go to the back and I'll pick the bolt out of your shoulder.
Ow! Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't bring up the dog.
As soon as you pull the crossbow bolt out, you see blood just gushing out, kind of spraying
Oh
out.
god!
Why would you do that?
I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the
I
time!
thought that you were some kind of brave battle. and
roll
then
it.
you
I am!
Medicine check.
Hang on. I got this.
That is gonna be a 17.
Oh! I have a mess kit, can I patch him up?
No.
Sorry.
You can, but
I'm
as
like covered.
yeah, you kind of pull out some old bandages and things that might have been wrapped around your wrists before. You kind of just pad them on the wound that's exposed and kind of just tie across. It doesn't seem to have healed much?
Probably take the difference.
I would say you wouldn't bleed out or anything.
So still 9 damage.
I'm going to be benevolent and I'm going to say you can get 2 points back.
So I'm on 10 health now. Thank you.
Anyway, I've reloaded the crossbow now with the bloody bow.
Sorry.
I'm not sorry.
It's fine.
No, that looked.
Don't do it again.
Well, if you just tell us why you were going
Okay,
to take
okay, I'll
it.
tell you. You'll stop shooting me. Get the crossbow out of my face.
Avalon.
I kind of folded it.
Alright.
I overheard 2 people talking in a tavern back at a different place.
Cat's eye?
The Cat's Eye Tavern. I was having a drink, and they mentioned a pendant and a key of some sort, and I just thought it would be a good place to start looking.
A key.
A key.
You thought a Wheatsfield would be a good place to start looking for a pendant.
Well, I overheard that there were people looking for it.
And what were you
It's a
gonna...
person look like this. I'll hold up the picture of Octavius.
I didn't see him. I just heard him, and he there were 2 guys. One of them was like, I don't know, had a deep voice, and the other one had a not so deep voice. But that's about all I remember.
Alright, we're on a bit of a tight schedule here, and as for the amulet, we might need this as evidence to protect ourselves back in court.
Yeah, we're kind of in trouble with
Please
the
don't
law.
take it.
We've been framed.
This is also evidence.
No wonder you shot me. I didn't know you guys were criminals.
We're
not! We're not. We're being framed by that guy.
Sure, we'll go with framed.
By the way, with the amulet now and the analysis that I have of the amulet, plus this wanted poster, I reckon we have a pretty good case against Octavius.
But we have no proof that he framed us.
We have a transmutation thing that can transmute the physical properties of things. We cannot summon insects out of nowhere, but he clearly has means criminal, motive I don't understand yet, but he also has the tools to use to do it. Or at least the tools that probably could do it.
Well, I don't know if it will interest any of you, but they also said something about a crypt and the pendant being the key. So I don't know if that's something that you guys would like to hear, but I'm gonna need that pendant one way or another.
Why do you want to go to the crypt?
Once again, none of your business,
Well, then we're not
really.
going to give it to you if you're not going to give us an
And
actual
I'll
reason.
steal it.
Whoa!
You
No!
see
I
what
point the
happens
crossbow again.
No, wait a minute! We don't need anybody else to die unless you're a horrible grass monster.
Once again,
Or
I
Octavius.
was also killing the grass monsters.
And hey, very impressed, must say. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Like,
Could be a baby dragon.
Finally, a little bit of respect.
well, oh, that's what you were talking about, the little dragon. Yeah, kobolds.
Oh,
Small.
person with the claw face.
They're small dragon
Not a
people.
small person. Small.
I woke. Wait, how tall are you?
2'2".
I woke up to you. Guys, it's finally happening. Oh my god.
Oh, big deal.
This is a big deal for me, man.
I am very proud of you, Kruger. You are tall as a thief.
A very glistening tear just goes down my eye. What?
How tall are you?
2'6".
Oh, shit.
You can get kind of up to the chin.
I tiptoe anyway.
I tiptoe. No. I've been bullied for this for 3 years. I am not taking it now.
I still think my favorite thing is that I'm 6'4" standing next to
Yeah. Like, we're both, yeah. I like looked down at Kruger and I'm like, you're still short. Ah, nothing's a big moment for him. He's small.
Do not hurt his feelings like that.
Oh, I do.
Acrobatics, yeah.
Can't hurt my feelings.
Oh, that's gonna be a 25.
Yeah, you
What?
watch as this lithe kobold kind of plants the end of the quarterstaff and kind of tilts it to the side, scrambles up, and kind of balances at the top, and then rights himself. So they tower
come
over you
on,
now.
man.
Fine. Just you wait. Just swallow and wait.
Look,
God.
I won't steal the pendant, but can I have it after you guys are done with it?
That depends on how they process evidence in this world. I do not know if they would take it or not. It is evidence in the current case.
Maybe.
You will talk to the judge. We need to
Yeah.
talk to the judge
Well,
anyway.
Well, if
I can be a witness if you guys need an external source of information.
This could be of use. Someone tripped.
And I'll do it under the promise that I'll get the pendant afterwards.
I mean, it sounds like we may want to investigate this crypt anyway. It may be anything
yeah,
interesting.
maybe Octavius is up to something nefarious.
However, you cannot get into the crypt right now because we currently have the key.
Good point.
That may make us a target.
But if he comes for us and then he tries to kill us, then we can say, aha, he's killing us, therefore he started it all, which he obviously did, but then it's proof.
Alright, this is all well and good, but where on earth is this crypt?
Yeah, wait,
I have no clue where the crypt is.
Wait, we didn't even get your name. Who are you, by the way?
My name's Dilbert.
Nice to meet you. I'm Maylin.
Hello, I am Abelard. I shot you with the crossbow.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way. I am Dilbert from the Dweeb clan. I live in the mountains, or lived in the mountains at least. I'm studying to be a monk, and I just
That
finished,
explains the balancing act.
and I decided I would go look for my parents, but
Oh, where?
well, you all wanted to know what I was doing, and it's that.
Have you found them?
No! I think they're dead, but I thought I'd look for them anyway.
Mine are probably dead too.
Oh, well, hopefully they're
I'm
not.
sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry for your
I never
loss.
actually found their bodies, so I'm just on the lookout.
I have a quick question. What is a parent?
They kind of give birth to you. I don't know how it works
They
for
look
you.
up to you until they leave or die.
Can
So
I,
like the clerics at the barracks.
outside of everything, can I
Yeah, they're
name
people
and
raise
character explanation just
Okay.
drop like
Did you not have
Yeah.
anybody
Brace it
raise
in.
you?
Well, it's like we were
no,
taught by
really?
clerics. We have kind of.
Sorry, I'm gonna write this
we,
on.
Do you want me to write it down in the
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in barracks.
Thank you.
Not angry.
And like army
Yeah,
houses.
I have
got
no
I've
idea
got
what
that
you're
up.
talking about.
Nice.
It is
Wait, what?
a different
race?
society.
Human.
Human.
You have different values.
I see.
Can you write the races and
Will do.
pronouns just so I know how to address it?
Yes.
I'm Krugar. Yeah, I'm taller than you. I'm still lording over that.
Yeah, well, you might be taller, but I'm cooler.
I think you're both equally as cool, and that is very low.
Am I cool too?
Not at all.
We're still equal.
Well, I think we can both agree on something.
Can
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can I pat them both on the head? I am very proud of both of you, and I think you are both very cool.
He-
Punch you in the balls.
No, wait.
Roll an attack roll.
I was gonna say he means that endearingly.
No, sorry, I just hit.
How do you know? What did you roll?
I rolled 3.
You wind up in a fit of temper. You feel your rage kind of flaring within you. You pull your arm back. You're really good at punching things usually, but seems like
There's
as you
like a little bit of metal on the way.
as you wind your fist up, you smack it, and you hear a ting as your knuckles just hit straight metal.
Is that the traditional greeting for people? And I will immediately proceed to do the same thing.
Roll an attack roll.
I'm really punching you.
Yeah, my unarmed strike doesn't do any damage because I feel like I'm -1 strength.
Oh, no.
Wow.
However, I did roll a 9.
That doesn't hit. Oh, unless you're...
Does not it.
Yeah.
So having just been hit with a stray fist that seemed really pointed directly to the metal covering of your balls, you retaliate, assuming this is just a regular greeting for kobolds, gonna wind down and just miss. A bit too short as you crouch down and kind of try and
Just
swing.
lay on the ground and punch off.
Yeah, this is, you have to like full squat. And then go.
Sure, we'll go with breeding. That sounds about right.
He meant that endearingly. He does it with me all the time.
Okay, sure.
Alright, sorry to interrupt, but there's a trail of blood over here that might be worth investigating.
Oh, I have
You
no
might
idea.
Wait,
I have no
what?
clue
Yeah,
about the
okay,
trail
tell
of
us.
blood.
What's your excuse?
I couldn't possibly interrupt what just happened there.
You should have.
Okay, so you're following the trail of blood?
Yeah?
Is everybody following?
Yeah, I saw one.
Yeah.
Do it.
Why are you guys following a robot?
I believe
Because
the
he's
term-
our friend.
Isn't the term arcanoid? This is not a robot.
Robot's more of a derogatory term, I thought.
Yes.
So I would be like,
So it is a racist
or would
lizard.
I know what?
I will call
You would know
him
what an
my friend.
Arkanoid is.
Yeah.
When?
Essentially, it's just I've just remade Warforged.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I did send the document in the Discord
think, yeah,
if you want to read it. But yeah, Arkanoid is a general term. Sometimes referred to as robots. Up to you.
I'm gonna continue to use robots.
I'll have you know I'm a little bit more complicated than just a robot.
Complicated, complicated.
Oh, right! For a man who just pulled a crossbow bolt out of his shoulder, you sure do have a lot of guts.
We shot you once, we can do it again.
I know. I'll stop being aggressive. I'm sorry.
Whilst we're following
We
this,
don't
I'm
even-
going to pull out like one of my own textbooks and flick through and see if I've got anything on cobalt in it.
Sure. Roll a history check for me. As you guys
What's the 17?
17. There's not a whole lot on kobolds. It doesn't seem like they're frequent visitors to Lorethia, but you do remember hearing that they're mostly in Moran with other draconic folk. Within the Prussian Empire, it seems like they're mostly focused around mountain ranges. They're generally small and kind of lithe, fragile individuals, known more for their intelligence and resourcefulness rather than their strength or fury. They kind of prefer to outplay their enemies rather than just use brute force. Within the Prussian Empire, though, you know that they're usually focused amongst the raised bend peaks or even some areas of the Dawn Vale closest to Runawall.
Which set of mountains are you from? The book here says that you are focused around, so I'm just going to list the mountains there.
I have no clue what you call the mountains.
I do not call them just textbook concept.
I've never seen a textbook regarding where I live. I just know my family and my clan, and that's about it.
I'm going to put it in 10% of Italian French. Or quarry.
Wait,
It's
in your-
flavor.
And your clan's the what?
The Doeeb clan.
Dweeb.
No, Doeeb.
Dweeb.
Like D-A-W?
No, D apostrophe W-E-E-B.
I'm going to like, make some notes. Cobalt clans, and I'm just going to write doodle. Just in my notes, just kind of on the side.
Get it right, list.
It's not a very large clan. There's only about maybe 100 of us.
Not very.
Clans relatively small,
Oh,
100
we
people.
breed quickly.
Okay, and I'm just gonna go to A,
Random
where the blood is.
Right, so as you guys
The talk of
follow
breeding
this
is made
trail
uncomfortable.
of blood, Abelard kind of flicking through.
I have a
There's
question,
no
I'm just
difference.
questioning about kind of sexual behaviours and stuff like that now about the quick breeding. I'm like, so how do you reproduce?
Leading the charge, you can hear this kind of incessant chattering from Abelard, asking weird, uncomfortable questions. You notice that the blood trail seems to stop before the dragging. So there seems to be a kind of heavy dragging motion, and the blood kind of seems to peter out in little drops, kind of halfway through following this. It's probably about a minute or so of following this trail. I'll get you to roll another investigation check for me. Oh, actually, it's survival, because you're following a trail.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, nice. So, it's relatively easy to kind of pick up on this heavy dragging. It almost seems as if it's circular in shape, or at least there appears to be a little bit of an arc to it as it is kind of pulled along this dirt and gravel floor for the in between the wheat fields. After about another minute or so, you notice that these curves seem to kind of swap to another side, kind of pulling or almost ploughing the dirt behind it. And following again for another minute, you notice that it seems to head into a wheat field to the left that appears to have a very large kind of track made into it. The wheat appears to be all squashed and kind of broken, snapped stalks kind of hanging on either side. It's probably about 5 feet across. And it seems to go on for a little ways before you kind of notice. How tall are you?
It's a good question. I think a little taller than 5 foot.
Sure. So wheat fields aren't that. I mean, they're not that tall. So you notice that the wheat kind of breaks up for a second. It appears to be a clearing there, before moving on to kind of another wheat field behind that. So there appears to be a clearing that this track has gone through.
Alright, but I think whatever overturned our path might be this way.
How long does this go on for? Jeez.
I'm just going to close this book, put it in my backpack, and then get back to the kind of job.
Sure.
I finished questioning about cobalt situations.
I feel like we all got off on the wrong foot. Specifically, me and you.
For future reference,
What's everyone's names? First of all.
I am Abelat. I am a cleric of Luram.
Krugar.
Maylin.
No.
That's Nadria. She is very cruel.
I am Wood.
Nice to meet you as well.
June.
I don't have a name as such, but this party is taken to calling me by my serial number.
Okay, you're boring.
His serial number is A9, by the way.
What's the serial number?
A9.
Okay. A9. Boring, once again.
He's not.
I'm not a bad guy. I wasn't trying. I didn't mean anything.
You like to
by
try-
stealing
You
the
just
present.
called my friend boring.
That's what it means.
That is very rude.
If we're all gonna get
I think
along, we all have to
he's
agree
very
that no one is boring.
Okay, no one's boring.
It hurts our feelings.
Wait, was there something that people all boring?
I feel like there's a few people here that are probably a little bit meaner than I am, but
How does Nadria's personality?
No.
We love them for it.
they're scary.
We're working on it. We're gonna wear them down.
They'll think I am their friend, and then she'll.
Say already, sing I am their friends.
Yeah.
I can say.
Are you guys following the track?
Oh, we're just kind of following a guy. Like,
Are you just riding it? Alright.
Walk into it.
It's probably only another minute before you get to what appears to be not as large an opening as the one that you fought the wheat blight in before with the cart, but it seems as if the dragging motion stops. Roll an investigation check for me.
21.
What is going on with your rolls? That's awesome. So this, immediately upon entering this clearing, you kind of stop at the edge of this depression in the wheat field. And you can see that at the very lip of where it transitions from a wheat field into like a dirt clearing, you can see that there are what appears to be little almost puddles or kind of a thick gelatinous kind of substance that appears to be kind of congealed. Purple in colour with a kind of a blue sheen to it. and appears to kind of follow the same pattern as the blood splatter. It kind of is in little drops before eventually stopping, and you can see what appears to be footprints, kind of leading on to. There's a series of crates at the very edge across from you. They appear to be mostly intact, though very well worn. Seems like they're all sealed, so it doesn't look like there's any invisible damage to them, so you can't see the contents at the moment. But nothing else really kind of catches your eye, aside from an old rusted plough kind of set up to the side, and what appears to be like a leather yoke that's kind of fraying at the sides and well worn, kind of going a lighter tan colour than its original leather.
How big are the footprints? Are they like of a bigger, like humanoid kind, or a smaller?
Seems just like a regular boot size.
Regular boot size?
Can I try to open the crates?
Yeah. I'll get you to roll an investigation check for me as well.
Cool.
Crit fail. As you head over to kind of open these crates that are kind of stacked up, you are just making your way over there, kind of singularly focused, trying to see if you can work out where exactly you're supposed to open these crates from. And you feel your toe kind of as you feel yourself falling and smack down onto the ground, face first, kind of just trying to dodge out of the way.
So like I kind of like pull aside because I'm mask.
Yeah, you fall to the side, kind of just missing your mask as you trip over a pebble.
Stand back up again. Like, look.
Alright.
I think so. I think it seems broken. I think.
This isn't your blood on the ground, is it?
No, I patched up most of my wounds. So I may still be a bit sore, but...
While looking around the area, you can see that emerging from the wheat fields, kind of just skating the top of them, you can see a set of 3 butterflies, kind of kaleidoscopic in their wing colour, that kind of take your attention from the rest of the clearing.
Okay. What are those? They've got like the wings and they have pretty colours.
Butterfly.
Butterflies.
You don't know what a being is, but you know what butterflies are.
I had them where I live.
They're very pretty. We don't have...
So mysterious.
I just know what butterflies are. What do you mean?
Can we open one of these crates? See what's inside.
Okay, so as you go to open the top crate, they're kind of stacked up into 3, you put your hands under the lip of this wooden crate, and you immediately feel resistance as you try and pull it up. It seems as if it's attached.
Like to the other crates, or like the lid is like just...
The lid is attached to the rest of the crate, so you can't open it immediately. You'd have to smash it.
Does someone have a crowbar?
Pull it up.
I have a stick.
I say in giant, like, release, and with the help of the sword,
Right, roll a strength check for me.
strength check.
Can I head across to the butterflies?
Yeah.
Cool.
They're not stagnant, they're just kind of moving all around the area, so you're going to chase them?
We'll follow them, not like run after them, but
Sure.
as a...
They're kind of just skirting along the edge of the clearing. It doesn't seem to... I mean, what would you like to do with the butterflies? Just follow them?
Just follow them for now.
I'll probably follow the butterflies as well because I think they're pretty.
I'm interested.
You can see as they kind of just... They've got relatively big wings. They seem disproportionate to regular butterflies that you would have seen in the forest where you live. But one thing that does catch your eye is that these kaleidoscopic wings almost have a bit of a sheen to them as they catch the light. They kind of colour shift. So beginning on one side you have like bright pinks, and then it kind of shifts down. It kind of doesn't stay stagnant as you go close towards the body of the butterfly. Though the body itself just appears to be black.
These butterflies are very different from where I'm from.
14 strength checks for the crates.
Yeah, you just completely obliterate. So, smashing you kind of wind up expecting there to be a lot more resistance than it was. You smack your hilt down and just immediately just completely breaks. Bits of wood kind of splintering off. You can hear chunks kind of clanging to the dirt and billowing up clouds of dirt.
Didn't mean to do it that way. I meant to do it well.
That's very impressive, sir.
Don't let size judge everything. That's what my dad always says.
That's still very impressive. You just broke it. Very good.
And then the sword just hovers back on your back. What was in the crates, if anything?
It actually appears to be mostly empty. You can see what appears to be a stack of papers kind of that big.
What are the papers?
So on the very top, you can see that there is what appears to be a declaration of items, kind of a manifest of items shipped in from Moran by way of Black Knuckle Point.
What's on the manifest?
It just says cloth.
Okay. Would someone go through the effort to drag these away from the broken card?
It seems like if you like to flick through the rest of the papers, they all seem to be shipped manifests. Most of them are from Moran. So hello again. We had an internet crash, so
Yay!
You know,
Double
things
tap.
happen. Hopefully you guys are.
Oi.
We love D&D.
Hopefully you guys are sticking around. But yeah, we're gonna jump back into the clearing where we left off. Nothing much has happened. I'm not too sure how much you missed when it crashed, but party has found a set of ship manifests within a crate that Krugar completely obliterated in a small clearing within these wheat fields.
Was it just one crate?
So there's several different crates that you just smash the top one.
I'll smash the
Can I-
rest.
Can I kick one of the crates?
Roll a strength check or an attack roll. Up to you.
If he's
If you're aiming to if you're aiming to
Oh,
smash,
a 13.
absolutely it's
Okay.
so you're just winding up your leg to smack it.
Yeah, just hit any of the boxes.
Watching Krugar, slightly taller than you, feeling like you might need to
I just look
assert.
at you like.
I need to prove myself.
Yeah, you need to prove yourself.
Yeah, I
You
just
watch
look at
as
you
it
like, yeah, you know
completely
what's up.
smashes under the hilt
Well,
of
I'm not even
Krugar's
prove
sword.
myself. Just be equal.
You waltz up, complete confidence as you stare at this stationary object. This is your enemy now. You wind your leg up, smack it in. You feel a dull kind of pain shoot up your leg, but
I don't feel it.
you just shrug it off. You just
Why
shrug
did
it off
you-
and completely smash that crate. So
You kicked it.
bits of wood kind of fly out. This one doesn't shatter quite as well as the top one. It seems as if it kind of like the top kind of just slides off and the bottom kind of caves in, and you can see that there appears to be cloth. It seems to be kind of a ratty, kind of moth-eaten cloth, dark green.
I walk back.
Particularly
Trying
good.
to hide the fact that my foot is sore.
Can I make an insight check to see if it hurt?
Yeah.
Can I do a medicine check to see if I notice?
Try to make a deception check.
Oh crap! You don't have to try very hard.
What'd
you get?
I got a 2.
I got a 5. Yes.
Can
Wait,
I use a
what's
med-
my what's my
I'm
deception?
gonna do a medicine check to see if I notice anything.
So I see.
Oh, that's a 10.
You say you don't say it.
So
That's the face that I make.
as Gilbert kind of limps away, slightly trying to hide it, kind of straightening the leg, you can see that there's a little bit of a drag
I do a
in.
bit of a leg shake to like shake the head off.
Can I? Are you okay, Gilbert? Is that
I'm
leg
fine, I'm fine, it didn't hurt.
Do you want me to have like
Single tear.
Dilbert, we know it hurt.
Do you want me to have a look at it?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I have a taste for it. It makes it feel better.
The best.
Look, it didn't hurt as much as the crossbow, so it's fine.
Do you need to rub the crossbow? It will help the pain go away.
He touches the wound and I just like shout pain.
Cool, I'll rub it. So,
Ow!
can you stick for a bit at it? It's A, good for the wound and stop it from getting infected. And B, it will also help numb the pain. I do not know how it will affect your physiology, but
He is a doctor. He's a doctor. He knows.
Okay, sure.
Are you trying to apply anything specifically, or is it just like?
it's like just general pain. Yes.
No worries.
It's a little subtle.
Should we
Like,
take it?
what is inside the box that I kicked open?
So that's the cloth is inside the box.
Just
Yeah, so it just looks like it looks almost. It's kind of rolled up, so it looks as if it's kind of a thick, maybe blanket of some sort. But immediately you get the sense that this has not been used for a long time.
This kind of is useless. All this stuff.
I think I might start a ritual cast of detect magic. So I'll start just drawing runes in the ground.
So you said blood ended here, right? Or the blood ended earlier up with the dragon.
The blood ended earlier up, but at the very lip that of the clearing, you notice that there is kind of a thick gelatinous substance that's almost black, but when the light hits it just right, you can see kind of it's actually a dark purple, and there's a bit of blue and it's kind of just in like splodges.
Can I do
similar
my
to
medicine check and see what it is?
Yeah.
June. What's that icky black gunk?
It's an 18.
I'll go check.
18?
You'll be fine.
As you pick it up, or you're just going to observe it for now. And see
I
if-
imagine as part of the examination I would like touch it.
Sure. So as you kind of prod it, you notice that it seems almost gel-like, and it has a bit of a bounce to it, but it kind of seems to crawl away and attempt to kind of congeal with the rest of the
This gel appears to be
Dark.
moving.
With your 18 though, you notice that this isn't. It doesn't seem like it's an internal organ of a humanoid or anything like that, or some sort of. It seems like a part of something,
So
but
there's,
doesn't.
there's a fractured amount of gel everywhere.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount. It's probably only like maybe that much spread out across the
And it's trying to
opening.
reconnect with each other. Like,
Well, one part is. The rest of it seems just not.
Can I scoop it up?
Yeah,
Do I've got a backpack.
yeah.
Can I scoop up as much of it as I can into my backpack?
You're just gonna pick up the.
Like scoop, or like I put the backpack to the ground and
You're just gonna scoop it into your backpack.
yeah.
Okay. Immediately as you kind of start to pull from the top of this like section where the kind of ooze or gel-like substance is, you watch as when you pull it, it definitely seems to kind of and connect together.
And mass more of it together?
So you're just pulling it into your backpack?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you pull it into your backpack, you have a nice ball of gel-like substance.
Can I look at the manifest and see if there's anything that would match the description of gel-like substance?
As it connects together, is it more the bit that was, I'm going to call it sentient, but essentially just moving and sort of connecting with the other bits? Does that sort of amass into one big bit? That's all.
Yes,
sort of
that's what I
like-
mean. You have a ball.
And it moves in more small bits?
No, it just seems to kind of stay there.
Okay. Is there anything in the manifesto?
Yeah. The manifesto.
The manifesto.
I don't see anything for I don't see anything for purple jelly.
And its problems.
So as you search through this manifest, it doesn't seem as if there's anything in particular that says it's a gel-like substance. Nothing kind of catches your eye in that sense. It mostly seems as if these documents are for regular produce. So you have things like cloth, you have iron, it seems like. You also have, weirdly enough, the one thing that does stand out to you is that it seems as if they have vials, but it doesn't say what's contained in it, except for an initial of H.
Guys, be careful when you're breaking those crates. Apparently there are vials of something called H.
How many vials were on the manifest?
Does it say?
How many vials? It just says 10 units.
10 units.
So just be careful when you're breaking them. But have you found anything else in the crates?
Is there one more crate?
There is one more crate to open. This one seems to be empty.
I go up to Malin.
Mm-hmm.
I go backpack. What do you want to call it?
What does Quildor think of the goo?
Abelard,
Quildor
roll a history
too.
check for me.
A history check.
Yes, please.
Tudor.
That's a 9.
No worries. Not being of this realm, this plane, it's kind of hard for you to work out exactly what the significance is of sending everything through Black Knuckle Point. It seems like most of the manifests here go from Port Shasanti to Black Knuckle Point. You kind of get the sense that Black Knuckle Point might be. So you rolled a 9?
Yeah.
You get the sense that this might be a well-travelled trade route.
Would I recognize Black Knuckle Point from my time?
Roll a history check.
What's that's happening now? It's like, so, do any of you know
14?
about trade routes?
14. With a 14, you know that Black Knuckle Point, even in your time, was almost considered a seedy kind of port town that functioned as a kind of defense for the Empire, though the Prussian Empire was only just coming into effect when you were unfortunately shut down. So you're not too sure what the significance of it would be in this time, but Black Knuckle Point was used by the Ionian dynasty as a defense, being so close to Zarahan's hand.
So it's like a key, an important military defensive point, or
It has a reputation for being a kind of seedy port town that was used and kind of frequented mostly by sailors, naval officers, things like that. In your time, you would know that it's implied that the authorities are actually in league with pirates from Blightbath, being so close to the sea. So you assume it might be similar here. Could at least explain why there's a trade route established from Moran to Black Knuckle Point, given that Blightbath is in the middle.
So maybe we should go back to the judge with this evidence we have acquired.
Yeah.
At least maybe we can clear our names that way, and then we can figure out, ask her about this crypt.
Yeah. Maybe she knows what this crypt's all about.
Maybe bring that slide. She might have some more idea of what it is.
Tudor.
Yeah.
Bring Tudor.
Thank you.
Wait, you named the slime?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
What's a flubber?
Is it even alive?
Sometimes when people have struggled emotionally, they often give sentience to.
Can I touch it?
Sure.
They often give sentience to things that may be inanimate.
It feel as you go to sink your finger into this ball of slime, you immediately get a bit of resistance, and it kind of bounces back, but it feels cold to the touch. Doesn't seem as if it's clinging to you at all or anything like that. It just seems to kind of wobble a bit, and then.
I can't pierce the outside of it.
Do you want to try and pierce the outside?
No, if you try and pierce the outside, then I pull it away.
Don't hurt Tudor.
June, what does it smell
Ew,
like?
it feels so weird.
What does it smell like?
It doesn't really have a smell. I mean, it smells.
Funny.
Smells. It smells almost.
You shake
Sam
it?
says I. Sam says I.
Ah, he is watching.
It smells kind of like mildew almost.
You should lick it.
Aylin,
Uh-huh.
can I have a mushroom?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I want to put the mushroom in the bag with it.
Okay.
Does it consume it? Does it just sit there with it? Does it,
You're just dropping it on top of this.
like, not dropping?
Enjoy the mushroom, Tudor.
It doesn't seem to have a visible
Mate, is that
reaction at the
from the
moment.
back?
As soon as you put it in, it just seems to.
Thanks.
So I close the backpack with the slime.
When was the last time you washed yourself?
Is there like
That
any...
seems
Why would I wash
like
myself?
No,
What is
I
wash?
don't know.
It's like cleaning it. It's good.
Can you...
It's not bacteria.
So anyways,
This is good for the
Meat.
I guess that's why I grew fungi all over me.
What's Nigel doing at the moment?
Listening to this conversation.
I have rations.
Just- you're
Whether
just
there's meat
standing?
in the rations
Well,
or
They're
not.
talking about how much he doesn't cling or something.
Yeah,
I have mushrooms growing all over me.
It sounds really unsanitary, and that comes from someone living in a mountain.
I don't know what that means.
Can I walk up to June and go, is it alright if I just have a look at and do a scientific analysis on the gel?
I hold the bag open, but I don't let go of the bag.
Cool, I stick my hand in there and scoop some of the gel.
No. Put it back, please.
But I want to analyze
Eat it.
Okay, as you scoop up the gel into the vial, it does eventually kind of enter into the vial, though it's slow and almost seems as if it's kind of clinging to the walls of this glass vial and kind of crawling in itself. But you roll a nature check for me, please. And also, June, if you're watching this, you can roll a nature check too. Or you can do it with advantage.
That's a
15? You don't get the sense that this is a sentient being, necessarily. You get the sense that it might be a part of... It's almost ooze-like. You get the sense that it might be a part of another creature, but in itself is not a creature.
Yeah, you put it back in the bag.
I've seen this. I'm gonna like empty out the vial back in the
Okay.
bag, and then I'll.
As you overturn the vial, it kind of... and...
Can I have a second mushroom?
Anyway, so from my notes, maybe we should stop feeding it.
Well, are we even feeding
Yeah,
it?
let's.
Like, does it eat?
So.
What do you think it tastes?
From the brief amount of testing that I was allowed to do, this is not a full creature, but it is part of one.
What?
So
So
maybe
it is alive.
this part
I don't want to
is
eat it anymore.
this part is not alive.
Makes me want to eat more.
Go on.
Anyway, so this part here is not alive, but it is part of something that is alive. Where that something is, I do not know. I do not think we want to know where it is either.
But why would that thing be out here in the middle of a wheat?
I don't know, but I think we should leave the weekend.
Why did you want the
Is
second
Octavius
mushroom?
made out of jelly?
What I want to do is I want to pop holes in the center of each mushroom and then put them on top of the goo-like little eyes.
Okay?
Ah, Tiggle!
You put mushroom eyes on the ooze. It almost seems as if the ooze kind of crawls up into the... It kind of bulges through the holes that you've made in the mushrooms, but it doesn't seem to...
You don't want to carry it, I'll carry it.
No, it's mine. That's okay.
Anyway, so I'm glad it brought you all joy, but I will suggest, from a medical perspective, you should not add anything else to this until we figure out what it is. You would hate the poison to the... Exactly. So don't add anything to it.
I think Quildor is now very attached to Tudor, and now they're best friends.
That was cool to walk in this scenario.
Quildor's kind of peeking over your shoulder into this bag. You can kind of hear like a quiet kind of as he kind of just shrinks back and is covered by your hair again.
Quildor likes it.
Is that the same way that Quildor likes us? Because that hissing noise is not a positive noise.
No, he likes everybody, I think.
I thought his growl was less intense with
Is that
the
who
ooze.
is familiar?
That's
It's my
Malin.
best friend. He's a
A
raccoon.
raccoon.
Oh,
That we're pretty sure has rabies and wants
He
and
doesn't have rabies!
But we.
I didn't say, hey, Connor said that.
Just kind of like look away slowly.
You
Abawa
watch
does
as
it's
kind
rabies.
of emerging from underneath Malin's hair
Would you like
is
to
this
meet Quildor?
scrappy kind of...
He's very nice.
You can, this
I growl.
raccoon is kind of, its arms are
Growl.
I
flailing.
growl at the raccoon.
Like,
He'll grow back here.
If
I like it more now.
If Quildor was to stand on its tiny legs, like a foot and a half, right?
like this, surely this tall, like, I don't think that...
On its hind
How
legs.
big do you think raccoons are?
Raccoons are pretty big.
Yeah, it's not big.
Typically,
On its hind legs.
typically it's about it's 70 centimeters.
I mean, like if it's 30 centimeters.
That's the height.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably about that. It has to fit on Malin's shoulder. This is a relatively small raccoon. She's not going to be carrying around this kind of raccoon on her shoulder.
About a foot and a half.
So that is the
Yeah.
length,
Yeah.
which is so it's about 70 centimeters.
70 centimeters is 2.2 foot.
That is the maximum size,
To be fair.
Quildor is
40
small.
centimeters to 70 centimeters.
So if we go like 50 centimeters, that measures up to you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it does.
So you and the. So
I am now surprisingly good friends with
Roll an
Google.
insight check.
Someone's finally like.
Insight. That'd be 19.
You know that immediately just looking at this kind of scrappy, almost feral-looking raccoon that Chronicle doesn't generally like most people, but after you growled back, kind of seemed to reach a
He was
understanding.
No, you earned the raccoon's respect by growling at it.
Raccoon. I don't know. There's something about it. The way it growled at me, I don't know. It's
Cool, pass the vibe check with Robert.
I just thought that you like to clap at my shoulders like this.
I couldn't punch the raccoon in the balls.
Wait, what?
I'm joking. I don't punch the raccoon in the
You
balls.
just became friends with me. What the fuck?
It's now my new greeting.
Punching people in the balls. Nice.
Has it been about 10 minutes?
Yeah, I would say so.
Do I detect any magic?
You don't, not in this area.
Damn.
Wow, good call. 8, 9.
Wow.
Damn! The sass!
Salty.
Can you try turning your microphone up? I just.
Well, you want me to just mute it or what?
There's got a massive echo going on.
Is that because the really speak though?
No,
I don't think so.
Could be a delay between
It was good for the audio test.
weird.
Maybe it was when it crashed or something.
Well, maybe.
Alright.
Do we want to head back and report our findings?
Just
Team.
to be wise, I would also like to have a lay down to fight
Yeah,
you.
yeah, please. Covered in heat.
Okay.
I cannot do anything from a medical perspective. I would suggest a bath.
Caitlin should learn how to have one of those too.
I feel like the
I'm
bath
not
may
opposed
disrupt
to it.
Maiden's
It sounds-
native ecosystem. It is, as much as it's unhygienic, is fascinating from a scientific perspective that one being can have a habitat on her.
I'm throwing an ecosystem.
Love that.
Whether or not that is a good thing is yet to be seen.
Is yet to be seen.
I am one with nature, so I'd say it's a good thing.
Typically, you're your own nature. By walking around in this wheat field, you're an invasive species on this nature.
What?
There's a lot of revelations happening here.
Well, if
guys.
well, we're introducing foreign species to an area where they
I'm
should not
trying to
be,
save nature. I don't want to hurt it again.
then I would suggest having a
Again?
bath.
Wait, yeah, again?
No, I didn't hurt it. I just don't want it to be hurt again.
Maybe you
I'm
should
trying
have
to
a
save it.
you could have a bath at Ozit or no to find this maybe it's
How far away are we from town?
It's probably only like 10 minutes or so. Like,
Okay.
it's not.
Should we head on back and...
Yes.
Alright. I think we'll head back on and report our findings. If everyone
Sure.
wants to do that.
And also having rest.
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if A9 decides to murder me. Next time we can be good.
Okay, so as you guys kind of head back towards the town, would you guys like to do anything in particular? As you're
Keep an eye out for Octavius, see if we see him. Because we went by his tent, but he wasn't there, was he?
roll a perception check for me, please.
14?
14. As you go, you don't see Octavius. As you head closer towards the town, it seems like there are people clustered around his tent, though, where you guys exited to originally go into the wheat fields. You can see a lot of people in armor, similar to the prison guards.
Are they standing around like there's a commotion going on or looking for something?
That's not concentrating, it is robs.
They appear to be gesturing towards the tent itself. It doesn't seem like there's a commotion at the moment, but does seem like there's maybe it seems as if they're preparing to search the tent.
So we are legally allowed to burglarize the tent.
Right.
because we are like, conscripted as guards. But we should not go over there. I don't want to explain it to them.
But maybe we should.
But we had warrant for 10.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we want to tell the judge that we don't want to try to explain to the guard. These are the same guards that eat random chemicals.
They could be in with what's his name? Harrick? The dodgy guard. Yeah, the sus guard.
Harrick, yes.
Yeah. Okay, good point. Because if Harrick catches on, we're onto him. If he's in league, then that'll blow our cover.
Let us, yes.
Okay.
Let's go back to the judge and then talk to her.
Okay.
Okay.
That's smart.
Making your way through the town, you notice that the campsite areas that were previously filled with numerous tents and various people kind of milling about seem to be completely deserted now. The only tent that remains is Octavius's in one area, and on the opposite side of the road that you all entered the town through, you can see that there's two other tents on that side.
Is there
One
anyone
appears
around?
to be Olyar's, the other you don't seem to recognise.
Is there anyone around other than the guard?
Doesn't seem like it in this area. You can see townsfolk kind of milling about and walking on their usual journeys for the day. They don't seem to be too worried about the campsite entering. You assume that the beetles that were released a day or two ago kind of ended the festivities early. So most people, you would assume, are just packing up and leaving.
That makes sense.
How we know how much we are guard or the judge's place?
It's probably about a 10-minute walk to the centre of town where the prisoners. And I think based on Xander leaving, we might head to a break now.
Cool.
And we will resume momentarily. I assume there's like a hotkey or something for it.
Intermission.
One day I'll get.
Not the dab. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for bearing with us while we sorted out our audio test. We are just going to return back from our break now and a little audio test. So thank you so much for bearing with us. And let's get back into it. So the party is currently heading to the prison that they had spoken to the Rosita Zahn there. And yeah, what would you guys like to do? I'm assuming you're just entering the prison now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So immediately as you enter, it seems as if what little light there was before has been almost completely reduced. So the sconces are kind of alternating now. Not every single one is lit. There's some that have been snuffed out. As it's kind of approaching nighttime, I'd say you guys are probably late afternoon at the moment with all of the investigation, the fights that you guys have done. It seems as if the dwarven prison keep, who you guys spoke to last time, Busby, doesn't appear to be at his station anymore. It seems as if the interior of this building is almost entirely deserted.
Like no guards at all?
Roll a perception check.
11.
You don't see any at the moment, no.
Busby!
Hello?
You don't hear any movement or any sound at the moment.
Judge?
Hashtags us. I guess we go to Rosita-san's office. Maybe she's in. Hopefully.
Sure. As you guys head towards the stairs, I'm going to get the marching order from you guys. So who is going first?
Who has the flyer? Maybe you should go because that would be
Abelard?
important evidence.
Sure. So Abelard.
I'll follow behind, giving up with the necklace.
Sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lost.
Malin 5, Nadria 6, and Dilbert 7. Okay, so I'm gonna get Abelard. If you wouldn't mind rolling a perception check for me, please.
21.
Sure. As you approach the stairs, you notice that the rickety wooden stairs that you descended to go to the Rosita-san appear to still be intact, though it seems as if the bottom wooden stair has been smashed. So, under an impact of a heavy footfall, it appears as if the board itself has splintered and caved in slightly. Kind of fragments of the wood at the bottom of the staircase's landing. What you didn't see before, as you were kind of shepherded, herded by Busby to ascend the stairs, there is a staircase that appears to spiral downwards as well. And you notice that there are similar puddles of ooze that appear to be descending the stairs.
So, I think I found the rest of, did you call it? Two-door, heading down the stairs. There is a broken thing. I think there may be some trouble down there. Maybe we should first see if Rosita-san is upstairs. If this, I imagine a crypt would be downstairs. So if there is a crypt, we still have the key to it. So they still have to get to us to get into the crypt. So let's start by going upstairs and seeing if Rosita-san is in.
Sure. And same marching order as him. So, Abelard, as you ascend these stairs, kind of dodging the first step that's been broken.
So are we all ascending the stairs, or just Abelard?
That's up to you. I assumed you were all ascending, but...
Yeah. As we go up the stairs, I would like to continue to collect into my backpack whatever I may have the goo.
The goo is going down in a separate... So, you guys are on a landing at the moment. Busby kind of blocked your vision of the descending staircase before, but you guys are at the moment standing at a landing that there's one that goes down and one that goes up. Up is to the Rosita-san.
Yeah.
And the goo is descending the staircase.
Okay, never mind. I'll get back to that.
Sure. Do it.
Are you guys, like, is there gonna be people here?
Yeah, there's meant to be guards.
This seems
There
kind
were
of wrong. In a way.
And the goo, well, we didn't see the staircase for one last time, but the goo. Yeah, we need to go see Rosita-san.
What could any of this have to do with the cart?
Who knows? I imagine there is some larger plans than just releasing beetles. So,
What was that? Sorry. What was Octavius wanted for again?
theft and fraud.
Maybe he stole the booze? Then why would it be here? None of it makes sense.
Who is the person you need to see?
Alright, we need to see Rosita-san because we're being framed for releasing these monsters that we killed to save everyone. But they apparently re-released them and they did kill some people, which is very unfortunate. And we're trying to clear our name, else we're gonna be thrown off the highest tower at worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we're just locked up.
It kind of seems like you don't even need to worry about that anymore.
Possibly?
I mean, it's not my job. My name's clear.
Yeah, but
Maybe I'll get to the bottom of the stairs.
do you want to go down by yourself?
At the top of the stairs.
Well,
There you go.
you're on a landing, so top of some stairs, but bottom of others.
Yeah, I might wait here.
Okay.
I'll let you guys go ahead.
Scream if something attacks you.
I don't know if I'll be doing the screaming.
I'll wait with Dilbert at the landing. I'll give you some company just in case.
Thanks, Krugar.
Alright.
Which way should I go?
Oh, I'm heading upstairs.
Should I stay or?
I just like skip side to side with you again and just like.
Just like leaning against the wall.
Yeah,
Just measuring up.
Hey, you gotta understand this is big deal for me.
And being taller than someone.
Yes. They call me Krugar the Small, where I'm from, because my people. I don't know how many halflings you met, but we're not normally this short.
Well, I'm pretty average size for my people, so I don't have that mindset that you've got.
Of course not. Why would you? You're just a really cool little lizard that can do kung fu.
I mean, I could be cooler. I kind of wish I was bigger, but not to it. Like debilitating social degree.
It's fine.
I jump up on my pole again.
I'm sticking my sword in the ground and try to jump on top and bounce.
Roll an acrobatics check.
Do I need to roll so?
Yeah, I'll get you both to roll. 21?
I got 22.
Sure, so you guys both nimble and lithe, kind of accustomed to dodging and like ducking and like weaving in battle. You guys easily kind of balance and clamber up your respective weapons. We've seen Dilbert do it before, but Kruger slamming your sword kind of point down into the ground, in between a crack between the stone here. You find exactly the right spot to keep it upright and kind of jump deftly and land on the crossbar of your hilt, kind of balancing and one-upping Dilbert, unfortunately, in terms of height, but both look pretty cool.
I gain a significant amount of respect for Kruger.
I didn't know this was an option. I started this really this back.
Kruger will remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are performing a balancing act to kind of assert dominance, but finding a nice middle ground and respect for one another, the rest of you guys are ascending the stairs. Sure. So you rolled a 21 on your investigation? Or perception, sure. So as you step over this bottom step that's caved in, you can hear a kind of as the floorboards above you in the Rosita-san's office creak just as you put your foot down.
I pull my crocodile out immediately and immediately tactically eliminate the stairs.
Sure. Are you stealthy?
I don't think how exactly I would really want to do this.
Are you an infiltration agent or are you just like a someone?
I'm a soldier. I'm not stealthy. I'm advancing just like
Sure.
relatively quickly.
As you put your feet one by one after another, kind of on these stairs, it doesn't seem as if you hear a creak again from above, though you do see what appears to be dust kind of falling through the cracks of the floorboards above you, kind of descending down, raining down upon your party as you ascend the stairs, kind of landing on your shoulder and clinging to whatever fabric you still have. Along the sides of the tower wall, you can see that there appears to be a red substance kind of dripping down, falling in between cracks in stonework.
Is it blood?
It seems like blood. And it's kind of smeared all up. It seems as if somebody's put a hand. You can see what appears to be the beginning of a handprint before it's smeared just along
Is it smearing up or smearing down?
up as it appears to ascend the stairs with you.
Okay.
You go up and up.
I'll go. Guys, there is someone bleeding heavily upstairs.
Someone or something?
That is a good question. If it has blood, I assume it is a one, because it must be alive. Or it would be dead. Undead do exist. Anyway, apart from that, I suggest quickly advancing and be prepared for combat.
You begin to get closer and closer to this top level, and you hear again a noise as you kind of step up and up.
Yeah.
And as you reach the top landing, you can see that Busby's body is laying spread eagle.
Dead?
Looks as if there's a huge gash in his torso.
I'm gonna go medicine check to see if he's dead.
Sure, roll a medicine check.
Was Busby good or bad?
He was a really nice guard to us.
That's an 8.
You can see that Busby's the gash that appears to be running through Busby's torso begins to kind of spray blood outwards, kind of flicking onto the stonework. You watch as Busby's hand moves slightly
I cast Spare the
towards the
Dying on
sword.
him. I cast Spare the Dying on him.
Okay.
It stabilizes any unconscious creatures.
Sure. You watch as Busby's hand falls limply to the side, his hand twitching slightly and being released from him.
Oh, cool. I will move him into the office. Are we on the landing to the office now, or?
You are on the landing to the office. The office, actually, roll a perception check for me, please.
That's my skills. Alright, that's cut. Because I moved the tablecloth and rolled over. It originally rolled a 7, but it reached a 17.
Just roll again. If it's cocked, just roll
Okay.
again.
We'll roll the book this time. It's 9 plus perception. That's a 12.
You can see that the door seems to be ajar.
Alright, I drag
It's-
Busby in.
Sure.
Just
You
get him out of danger.
put your as you kind of crouch down to put your arms underneath Busby's shoulder, kind of resting your hands on his chest and pulling you from him as he kind of his eyes shoot open and his hand kind of
It's okay,
scrambles
it's okay,
around.
it's okay, it's me. I'm getting you to safety. Just stay calm and do not move. You are very heavily bleeding. We'll get to it. We will deal with that in a second. First, we need to deal with you. Okay.
As you begin to drag, you can see that he's kind of pushing his heels down and begins to kind of put his hand behind your neck, kind of trying to stop you in your movements, kind of patting the hands that are kind of trying to pull him
Alright, cool.
away.
I'll lower him down. Okay,
Stop! Element, she... And you can hear he kind of hacks out a cough. Office! Prison downstairs! And then he watches his head kind of lolls to the side.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't appear to be dying, you can still feel him breathing against you.
Cool. I'll do a medicine check to see what I can do to like stem the bleeding.
Sure, roll a medicine check.
That's 23.
Yeah, so the wound that's on, it's very visible gash. You can even see some of the internal organs and kind of blood spraying outwards. It appears that whatever carved into Busby in this way was an incredibly sharp weapon of some kind. You do see that there are some kind of... It appears that the opening of the wound appears to be undergoing necrosis. It's blackening and kind of eating away at itself. But with a 23, you can definitely attempt to, stop the bleeding as best you can. Kind of trying to kind of push the sides together and makeshift kind of stitch it up. Yeah.
Using what?
And you assume that you've definitely stabilised Busby, though he still appears to be.
Alright guys, he mentioned something about the office. We will enter cautiously. We will see and clear it. If it is clear, we'll move Busby into it and we'll establish this as a safe space. And then we will begin a slow clearance downstairs. Would I know that necrosis is a symbol, like something an undead creature would do to him, or?
With a 23, you get the sense that it might be undead, though you've never heard of any specific undead creatures causing necrosis this quickly. You assume based on the blood that's smeared along the wall that this is a relatively fresh incident, so you've not heard of any undead creatures that would do something with that quick a turnaround, though there are some that cause necrosis when they strike.
Okay, cool. So I do not quite know what did this, but I reckon we clear out the office and we begin an advance from there. With Kruger and Gilbert downstairs, they can make sure that nothing comes back up to us right now. I assume we will hear some screaming if something goes wrong.
Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, roll a perception check for me.
That'd be 19.
Sure. From where you are on the landing, are you looking for anything in particular?
Just a noise.
Observing, sure.
Yeah.
You can you can catch the very end of the conversation that they were having with Busby. You also kind of peering around the descending staircase. You can see that this goo or this slime appears to cling to every single step. And as it goes further and further down, you can see what appears to be ooze almost crawling up the wall, though it seems to kind of ascend higher and higher with every single step that you go down. But you don't hear any sounds from below. You can only see like a flickering torchlight.
I just quickly say to Kruger, let's not go down there.
Is it dark?
Yeah.
Is it there? So it is. It is relatively dark downstairs. Like I said, you can see one torchlight flickering. The flames kind of casting shadows, and you can see the flickering on the wall. But it looks like it's relatively dark down there. That appears to be the only light source.
Does the ooze look like it's avoiding the torchlight at all, or avoiding the open flame?
Roll a... Maybe roll an insight check for me, please.
7.
It doesn't look like it, no. You're not
Okay.
too sure.
Okay.
Can I do a clear of Rosita Sands' office?
Sure. So
Crossbow
still
draw.
dragging Busby?
No, I'll put Busby down, I'll draw my crossbow, and I'll I will open the door.
So, as you draw your crossbow, you can hear from inside the office. And a creak moves across towards you.
Alright, I'll kind of point out the door, point my crossbow at it, and then just kind of try to use like the edge of it to kind of open the door.
Sure. As you kind of hiding behind the ajar wooden door, you use the edge of your crossbow to tilt it slightly, and as it opens further and further, you see a figure begin to emerge around the corner, blood dripping off a blade. You see before you Rosita-san, Element, but this time it appears as if her face has gone gaunt, as if she's seen a ghost. Holding the blade aloft before you, you see in her hand Octavius's head.
Are we interrupting?
I don't know about interrupting. Well, I think I've interrupted something here. And she kind of brandishes Octavius's head. This was left on my desk with this. And I'm beginning to think that maybe you lot had something to do with it.
I treated your guard. Someone also cut up your guard. Is it Busby?
Busby?
He's alive. He is stable.
You watch as she shoulders past you, kind of dropping what's in her hand.
I did a pretty good job at stabilizing him. However, I have no healing left right now.
Immediately goes towards Busby. Whatever happened here?
We are trying to figure that out right now. He mentioned something about the office, and in there he was cut across
You
here.
didn't see anything?
No, we just got here. We were bringing evidence to you against Octavius, whose head is now on your desk. He's wanted for theft and fraud.
Kind of puts the head in her hands. I have no idea what happened. I just blacked out. I was 1 minute in my office desk chair, turned around to speak to Busby, and then I don't remember anything that happened. And now Busby's here dead. You're in my office.
Busby's not dead. He is unconscious.
You saved him?
Yes.
You see who did this?
No. There is blood. There is a lot of black slime heading down the stairs. There's also some black slime
downstairs.
Yeah.
Shit. And kind of begins to descend the stairs rapidly.
Is that called? Is that the crypt? We found a kobold that helps.
Doesn't he? Are you descending the stairs with her?
Yeah, kind of going like. Is that the crypt? If so, we did also find the key to that, which is apparently an amulet, which we now have as well.
As she kind of reaches the bottom of the stairs, she shoulders past both of you, knocking you off your weapons, kind of
You two with us.
and stops at the top of the stairs, kind of holds her hands out. No, this is so bad, this is bad, and begins to kind of pace up and down the prison, kind of muttering to herself.
What is down there?
Well, supposedly this prison was built on, I guess you could say, a crypt of some sort.
That would require a key, which is an amulet?
I don't know for sure.
Well, we have the amulet, so they can't actually open the crypt if that is how it works.
Is any of this really important given there's a monster on the loose murdering people?
Well, the monster requires the amulet to get into the
Hold
crypt.
on a second.
Well, no, Octavius.
You've got the key.
Yes.
Well, Octavius wanted the key.
It's a blank wall downstairs. There's the crypt was old. So there's nothing. You know that there's a crypt down there. Is it still down there?
We met a kobold in. Yeah.
I overheard at a tavern that there was a crypt somewhere that required an amulet as a key, but I had nothing more than that.
Do you hold up the amulet? Kind of just looks absolutely perplexed.
That amulet is from the spectral plane. It has transmutation powers. Apparently it has been used recently as well.
No, hold on a moment. So what you're telling me is that you've somehow got a key to a crypt that is not supposed to exist anymore. And I'm supposed to believe that you just happened upon this.
Well, we were looking for evidence to clear our name and to find Octavius. We didn't find him at his tent, so no idea where he is.
Octavius is dead. He is upstairs, which looks even worse for us, and I will admit that now. But we found the key. We found the amulet in his tent. We also followed a magic path to an overturned cart. Right, the cart was attacked by something. From what is the place? I cannot remember the name.
We were attacked in the wheat fields, kind of far away from Octavius's tent, and then we found the amulet there. Then we were attacked by wheat monsters, and then the cart was overturned. There was a trail of blood leading away, and then the blood sort of led us to this ooze, which is down there.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Who would believe that?
I'm an eyewitness. I watched all of this
Who the
happen.
fuck are you?
He is our witness.
He is our friend.
My name's Dilbert.
We
I
did.
don't fucking care.
We have the manifests and stuff from the cart and stuff like that.
Do you think Busby is lying almost dead upstairs? Do you think I have time to read a fucking manifest?
Well, we're just trying to prove the fact that we were where we were. You seemed accusing us of doing it, so we're trying to prove that we were over there.
Maybe. Wait, can we wait? But is Busby? Oh, wait.
Busby is unconscious. I cannot heal him right now. I have no more.
Can we wake him up and he can say who?
No, he needs to rest. He is very, very hurt. I patched him up, but there is necrosis around the wound, and I would.
Look, I don't have time for this. I'm gonna have to call in some favours at the Grimoire Legion because this fucking weird goo looks like a problem to me, and I don't have time to deal with you lot right now.
What if?
I've got a dead, but severed head in my fucking room.
Severed?
Yeah, Octavius as well.
There's a random murder weapon, and I'm kind of thinking that you lot, since you came to my fucking town, might have been the cause of all of this.
We did also.
Weird shit going
Well, then
on.
why would we attack Busby but not kill him? Because he could say that it's us
I
if
don't
we
know. Does it
did
look
it.
like I'm a fucking murderer?
Wait a minute. There's a weapon? What kind of weapon?
The sword I had in my hand. Are you blind? What's going on now?
Oh, hang on a minute.
Look, I don't have time to deal with it. I kind of just.
So hang on, why were you holding a bloody sword and a severed head then? Did you kill Octavius?
Begins to hold up.
I'm gonna follow upstairs.
Maybe it was her.
And also, in the wheat field, we also found more of that slime. The one that's going down the stairs.
Well, sounds like a you problem. Maybe you should be searching out this line. I'm going to contact the professionals.
Or
who
you
know.
could get us to deal with the problem and then we're square, because obviously this doesn't look good for you.
No, this looks very, very bad for me, but also, what am I going to do now? I've got a dead person in my fucking town. Again.
Can I go and poke Abelard?
Yeah.
I don't trust her.
But she's the judge. The authority figures wouldn't.
Wait, so did you just wait? How did you come by a bloody sword and a head?
I already told you.
I was down here doing a balancing act.
Would you like me to treat Busby in your office as well, or is there a medical area you prefer?
There's no medical area in the present, to my knowledge. But apparently I didn't know there was a fucking crypt underneath here as well. So I bring him into my office if you think it's the best place.
If it is, I
And she
assume
kind of
it's almost...
sidesteps the head and the sword and kind of mutters under her breath.
Cool, I'm gonna follow upstairs and drag Busby into the office. And
I will help.
Yeah.
I'll help you lift him.
The office itself, now that you get a moment to look, is in complete and utter disarray. Actually, roll a perception check for me, please.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You notice as she turns around that there appears to be a puncture point in her neck at the very back.
Rosita-san, you have a puncture wound in your neck.
Oh, what in my fucking neck? And like pulls her hand up to, and just stops as soon as she touches it, and turns around. So I'm guessing that you didn't do that.
No, I just saw it. Do you want me to treat it?
We've been here for 5 minutes.
Can
And
you?
then kind of, she's probably about 6 foot. She's relatively tall and kind of cuts an imposing.
So I'm just that little bit taller, and I'm like.
Yeah, so she turns her neck towards you, and you can see that from the puncture point, it appears as if the veins have kind of blackened and begin to crawl up.
Cool. Can I do a medicine check on that?
Yeah. Well,
21.
I reckon we would have died.
ooh.
Did she like black out and then
It
kill him?
seems similar to the necrosis that was occurring around Busby's wound. It almost seems as if it's kind of spiderwebbing up her neck here, though
Is
it
it-
doesn't seem to be growing.
Okay.
bigger. Looking at it, you see there's a very fine kind of puncture point. What drew your attention to it initially was that there was a kind of red inflamed area around the wound itself, and you get the impression, based on your combat medic prowess, you get the sense that this might have been a blow dart of sorts.
So I'll be talking about that. So the wound looks similar to that of Busby's. There's a similar amount of necrosis on it. It looks like you were hit by some sort of blow dart.
So, I've been fucking drugged in my own office. How is that possible? And kind of, she walks around, I was sitting right here, and points towards...
Is there a window or anything that would like give line of sight to where the puncture wound could have hit her?
Are you up in the office as well?
Yeah, I would have helped it. I would help lift Bugsby into the office.
Sure. So the room itself has several different windows along the sides. It doesn't appear that there are any directly behind her, but you assume that there could have been a possible trajectory from when she turned her head, though it doesn't seem as if there's any shattered glass or anything.
Okay.
Can I have a look around the office floor for the actual dart?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yep.
say.
What was your... Did you roll an investigation check?
Oh, my perception was natural 20, but that was for the
Natural
next
20, sure. It's relatively easy to look around and find the blow dart. So as you kind of round the table, as she does, to kind of search around the area, you can see lying on the desk underneath a stack of papers that was easy to obscure if you're just glancing over it. Kind of caked with blood from where you assume the blood pooled onto papers from Octavius's head that was left on the desk before her. You can see a very thin, almost tube-like. It's a very thin glass tube with a sharp point. Kind of almost looks like a proboscis. It has a hook towards the end.
Nasty.
And it seems to match up with what was like the puncture wound, the hook and all.
Oh, well, this looks particularly nasty in design. Do you have any idea who might have made something that looks like this?
Rolls to see.
Good question.
She very gingerly takes it and kind of studies it for a second, holding it up to the light. And you can see that the interior of this tube, there appears to be an even smaller, thinner tube inside, that appears to have a residue of the same kind of goo or slime. Kind of studies it for a second. This is a huge fucking problem.
What
This-
is it?
I've not seen one of these in use for centuries. And it kind of turns it again.
She's an elf. So.
She's an elf.
She's an elf. She old.
So,
She's looking at a tube like. You've got a backpack full of stuff.
to my knowledge, this is an ancient weapon from Iran.
That is where all of the other stuff was from. The beetles are from there. The manifests are from there.
This is the city of Vale's weapon of choice. It was an old weapon they used to fight in the Fallen Path, the procession of metal. When that entire age, they invented these.
What is these?
It's a blow dart.
Yeah, but it's like, what is in it? Why is it leaving necrosis? And if so, is there some kind of anti-venom that I can use to treat A, that wound and B, Busby's wound?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you what was in it. I didn't study that area of history. It's not. All I know is that when the Grimoisian Legion were formed, they made a pact that certain weapons would never be used. And I assume. Why are you smiling?
And blow darts fell under that category?
I think it is the type of blow dart.
I think that's what she told me it was. She was like, it's a blow dart. And she was like, they're dangerous. They were banned for years. I'm just sitting there confused mostly.
Are you saying this to
No, this is in character that I was explaining in character, although I said the blow dart thing in character. Blow darts?
She turns towards you and you can see a fire begin to start in her eyes and she advances on you. Listen here, I've had about enough of your smart ass attitude. This weapon is not just a blow dart, you fucking idiot.
It's the first time I've been called smart.
June?
She's gonna smack you across the face.
I might die.
How many hit points do you have?
I rolled a 19 to hit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Backhands you across the face and you can feel the sharp cut hovering against
Ouch.
your cheek.
Doesn't like smart people.
No, I don't like idiots. This is a very serious situation. You don't see Busby. You don't see this fucking puncture wound. I didn't remember what I was doing. For all I know, I could have killed Octavius. This crazes you. You have no idea, no control over what you're doing. This weapon is not just a blow dart. It's part of something bigger.
Where is this poison from again?
Mora?
Not my area of expertise. I don't know where the poison is from. I don't know what they put in it. All I know is that this was banned for a very serious reason.
Okay.
And that reason is that you don't have control over what you're doing. You don't have control over who you are. You don't recognize anybody who's close to you. You go bloodthirsty. You go insane. And for all I know, I could have killed Octavius and not even remember that.
I would. Just his head is here, not his body. So I would assume that you wouldn't have killed him. Someone may have left the head, unless there is a body hidden somewhere that I have not seen.
She kind of sits back on her heels from where she struck June across the face. I don't know the answers to any of these things. All I know is that this here is Moranian weapon from Valea. This means that something bigger is at play. Something that I don't think worked up here for?
You call your professionals. We will stay and guard this office, and I will continue to tend to Busby. And we will also take a bit of a rest so we get some of our magic back.
She stops you before you go. Listen, I'm sorry if I hurted you.
Thank you.
You?
I pushed June away. Come on, man.
Do you want to get slapped again?
She
No.
said sorry. She just hit me.
No, she's not sorry for that.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
June, come. I'm gonna take June downstairs. And I'm like, come on, man, let's go.
Hold person is being cast on you.
Oh, never mind.
Is everyone upstairs?
Yeah.
I'll just ask. Did we all go upstairs?
Didn't you wait?
I waited downstairs.
But then we went back downstairs.
You're just
and then
kind
we
of
went back
hearing
upstairs
stuff
again.
upstairs.
Then Kruger went back up, so I'm assuming that.
Sure.
Oh damn, you.
June's not meaning anything by this, by the way. He's just.
A dick.
Well,
No,
you
it's-
should learn to shut their mouth if they don't
It's
wanna
just
be-
not smart. It was a genuine question. A wisdom save? Yeah.
So DC is 16.
Yeah, 16.
Beats it.
Yeah.
Alright, you feel a kind of chill come over your body as tendrils of magic beings curl around you and attempt to kind of form chains and kind of a crackling kind of appears around you as you kind of step back and shrug it off and break the chain that's kind of formed around you.
Oh.
You watch as she drops her hand. You know what? I don't fucking care anymore. Do whatever you fucking want.
Oh.
Let's
And she
go.
She turns back and heads towards her desk, kind of both arms, and kind of leaning over it, hanging her head.
Alright, I'm gonna go tend to Busby. And just make sure he will be stabilized properly and just know.
John?
Dilbert's very intrigued by the crypt that's downstairs and says, I kind of want to go look at the crypt downstairs. That's what I kind of was looking for in the first place.
But the goo is down there.
I don't know about you guys. The goo doesn't look that scary. I mean,
Did you literally
June's
not?
holding it in their bag. It's like...
Yeah, let's go downstairs.
Look, I get that the goo is very exciting. However, the necrosis is less exciting, and also this maddening effect is much less exciting. So I think we maybe wait a second, breathe, have a bit of a break, and then go at it again.
Short rest.
You guys are
Yes.
boring.
I was suggesting a long rest, but
You want to go to sleep?
yes.
No, I don't think we have time for that.
I don't get my spell slots back.
I know. I don't think we have time for that though.
Oh, I get my channel divinity back though. So.
Well, technically, I'm damaged
Hang
too.
on, guys, are you all taking a long rest?
Can we take a long rest in an office?
It's up to you. I'm just asking what
Or
you
do
do.
we want to take a short rest?
I feel like time might be of the essence.
I think a short rest,
Okay.
at least, if we need to get
How
health
long's
back.
the short rest again?
Like
Well, I think they're supposed to be like 4 hours. I didn't make
a short
30
rest.
minutes.
I think they're like an hour.
Yeah,
a
short rest is like half hour to an hour. Long rest is 8 hours, and then
Unless-
elves and warforged take 4 hours. I think.
No, Warforged do 8 as well.
They do 8 as well. Oh,
I
yeah,
think
okay,
they do.
cool.
Yeah. They just don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are taking a short rest?
Yes.
Yeah, get some health back. I think.
What's Dilbert doing?
I'm taking short rest too.
Okay.
Purely because I got guilted into doing it.
Short rest
Well,
is at least an
and I
hour
can't
long,
really go down
but I'm
alone.
gonna say half an
Well,
hour.
if you don't want to go
Half an
down
hour? Cool.
alone,
Well, you got
I'll
like
take the slime.
No.
I-
you can
We
get.
can-
Maybe good.
Alright.
I have an idea. Let's use Busby as bait. And chuck him down the stairs.
No.
Busby was nice.
How do you do short
And his
rest?
name was
Busby's dead!
So you click
Oh, yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah.
Basically.
Where is it?
Up there.
Up
Did
there.
Busby
Click short
roll
rest.
death
You don't need to
saving
take a short
throws?
rest
Yeah, I
because you've
didn't.
already got.
Sure,
Because
what
like,
about me?
It's-
if you've lost any hit die. Oh, and you're a warlock, so you would get your spells back if you've
Yes.
spent spells. So a
Yes.
short rest is good for you.
Yeah, I need short
I'm gonna
rest.
get
Yeah,
Busby
then-
now.
Then you take a short rest.
Oh, fuck.
Which one do I do?
So
Like-
just click 1 because you're expending 1 hit die, and then just take the short rest. And the short rest is taken. And if you need to get health back, you would roll 1d8 plus your con mod, and that's how much health you get back.
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
That's not a lot.
So were you going downstairs still,
One
Vince?
sec.
Oh no, it added the health back. Okay.
And you
then
get your
my
spell.
10
And,
HP goes away as well.
yeah, and you get your spell slots back too.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I'm back to full health.
I'm not.
Wait,
but-
what is it?
Oh,
Okay.
it rolled it for me. It
Plus
was
con.
on the app.
I have a little bit of healing,
There you
as
go.
in just my count.
Well, save it as a last resort.
10 hit points.
We shall be alright.
Beat amongst the party.
It's all good. It's all good.
What else do we I didn't use it. I didn't use it.
Yeah, just roll a d8 and then add your con mod. And that's how much health you get back.
So you can change your spells if you want to use different spells.
I still don't want to change my spells.
Does Busby awaken after the short rest?
Oh yeah, does he roll a hit die?
I probably should.
We
You
can.
know, I'm gonna say yeah, he wakes up.
Yeah.
Still think we should throw him down the stairs.
No, we like
Even
Busby.
Landria doesn't agree with me on that one.
No, Busby is cute.
I've never met him. So.
Hey, Busby's chill. He's with us. He's cool.
Well, you guys seem kind of crazy, so.
What are you talking about? We're cool. We're like the newest adventuring squad on the block, man.
Criminals on the block.
We're not criminals. That's what we're trying to prove.
I don't know about that.
Yep, that's all.
As Busby wakes up, I'm like, "Listen, you alright?
Oh, that's adorable.
So, breathe.
The camera.
Do not move too aggressively. The stitches are decent, but you know we don't want them to rip. You were hurt very badly.
Is he
you
wearing
should
the
live.
outfit?
Busby's
Okay?
kind of blurry looking at you. What?
You are hurt badly. Something cut you. We would like to know what cut you.
Kind of reaches up and.
It's
My head really hurts.
yeah. You
Take everything back.
you have a really nasty cut, so I would suggest no heavy exercises for a couple weeks until the wound heals.
My heavy cut.
Do you-
And then he kind of flexes his
Yeah.
arm. Cut?
No, like slash that I could see your organs.
Yeah.
through.
You can see my organs and kind of reach down and just. Oh!
Just
Do you know what did that to you? Did you see who cut you?
And I see who cut me.
Who slashed
And
you
kind of
open?
sits and just thinks for a second.
Oh my god, I don't remember being that stupid.
Oh, well, he kind of shakes his head a little bit. I was going downstairs to move the crates that we had leaned up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
They had extra prisoners, gear and stuff like that. Even though we have no prisoners at the moment, we do routine checks. And as I was going down the stairs, I felt something shove me from behind, and I think I smacked my head. And then as I turned around, and he kind of pushes his like forehead and like kind of rubs where you assume he hit his head. It didn't seem like a man, but it had like a human shape. But it was too dark to see exactly what it was. It
Was-
kind of looked as if it was
gel?
what? Oh, gel. Yeah, like it was like moving and stuff. Like oh, what's it like? Snails. Not like it didn't have a shell.
Can I like get just kind of manhandle Jude and just kind of open the backpack up? Does the gel look like this?
You
No,
want
I
to just
resist.
look in and you're resisting?
I don't want the backpack is friend, not food.
I'm not trying to kill. Okay.
You're not trying to kill her?
No.
You promise?
Yeah.
I wanna. You can't. What do you want me to do with it?
Just open it and show Busby the gel.
I show Busby the gel.
No. Busby kind of looks at you.
Remember, it's got 2 eyes now.
Ignore the mushrooms.
And Busby kind of cranes his neck over.
Two-door.
And starts throwing looking Tudor.
Two-door, that's his name.
Did
Two
the
doors?
No, it is they named.
It's like Quildor 2, but we combine the names to make it
Who's
Two-door.
Quildor?
It's raccoon.
My raccoon friend.
You have a raccoon in a prison? Did you have that when we arrested you?
Yes.
And kind of turns to the Rosita son, who appears to be drawing. She kind of seems to be almost levitating off the ground, and is kind of casting what appears to be runes in the sky that kind of eventually turn 3-dimensional and kind of move off to the side and whisked away.
Quick question, Busby. That's usual, right?
What the Rosita son?
Yeah, that's not. This. We shouldn't be worried.
I realise how it's done up with that. No, that's just how she casts to stay in contact with the Gramarcian Legion.
Oh, good.
okay.
Not that I think you should be complaining about being fucking weird. You've got what looks to be goop in your back.
Learn its name.
It's
What's his name?
Two-door.
I'm not doing that. And kind of just looks into the backpack.
Rude.
Yeah, this is definitely. It looks a lot like this, but like less solid, more like a liquid, not like a weird ball of slime.
We shouldn't bring the backpack down
You only
in
keep the
case it
backpack.
like turns into a nasty goo monster.
You can't just.
No, we leave Tudor here.
Can't.
We leave.
I don't wanna
no,
leave him.
we'll pick him up.
Tudor will be
We go
safe here.
Exactly.
We would hate for him to or them to be
Who's
hurt.
gonna protect Two-door?
Rosita-san.
Yeah, and Busby's. They will keep Tudor.
She already hit me.
I don't trust
I was
them.
asking a genuine question. I was dumb, okay? It was grammatically
Was?
ambiguous.
Was or are?
This seems.
I'm not sure.
Let's stop. This seems redundant. All right. And do I know anything about slime people, monsters?
Roll a nature check for me, please.
Oh, I know some stuff about slime people.
Well,
I opened my book and it says slime people, friend.
I'm like flicking through a whole bunch of books. I don't have these. Can
Oh, you can copy it from mine.
Can I roll? Can I roll a nature check as well?
That's a 9.
That's a 10.
Do you have any racist nature?
You don't know too much about them. You might have heard like ghost stories that some kids kind of tell over various campfires and things like that about these goo monsters that would kind of form out of puddles and attack people. But you assume that was more just fairy tale stuff.
So, a goo monster that's sort of told as a campfire story is invaded the prison, and somehow there's a poisonous blow dart that makes you go mad, and now the person who is framing us is now dead. I'm really struggling to see how this all ties together, guys.
You watch as Busby kind of pushes himself up the wall and kind of stabilizes himself, swaying slightly, and begins to head over to the Rosita son, who appears to have stopped
a message.
I'll walk up and I'll kind of like walk with Busby kind of holding it, just be careful and take it slowly. You will need a lot of physio. This wound is very serious.
What?
You will need to retrain a lot of these muscles. They will have to heal. So first you have to wait for the scar to heal, and then you have to exercise all the stuff gently, and then you can begin to, work upwards from it. But you will have to rebuild a lot of the strength there because it has been literally slashed open. Like it has been cut in half.
Do we, as a party, know what plane Abelard?
Everyone's told the rest of the party. You wouldn't have been told.
Oh yeah, he's not from here. He's from the Dream Plane.
Dreams.
He's like a dream. He's like a police
That
dream
explains a
cop.
lot.
Yeah, he's like a
That
dream
explains a lot.
cop medic. I think.
I am a soldier. I combat medic if you want my official position. I was still relatively new at the academy, but I am trained in triage and stabilization, so I have a lot of healing.
Yeah, that.
So, and then I'm like kind of walking with Busby, just kind of holding him.
Yeah, very
May's not
strange.
from here either. She's from a forest that's apparently not here.
Oh, that's a bit better.
Better
Yeah,
how?
The dream plane. The dream plane sounds so ominous.
The
We
forest is
also
very
agree
nice.
that the dream plane is stupid and ominous and not believable.
Yeah.
We will
You're
get
the
towards-
only person
It
here that's
sounds
nervous.
dumb.
we will get past your blasphemy against Luron, who is a god, I may add. You talk to people when you fight, and those people aren't there. I don't think you have.
Shut up! Shut up!
I don't think you have many legs to stand
The
on.
one
which is
way
why-
to say.
You don't have to.
You hear in your ear. Well, I do suppose the other.
Just my eye twitches and I'm just like,
Yeah, she sometimes just randomly screams out loud to someone that's not there. We don't really know why.
It can get scary.
Very scary, and she's already very scary.
Crazy.
Anyway, I assume I get Busby to Rosita's son somewhat safely.
Yeah, so Busby's just kind of been walking along, not paying much attention. And immediately you watch as Rosita's son turns to Busby and just pulls him into a hug.
Oh.
And
Do not squeeze too tightly, you will damage the stitches.
They don't seem to be paying much attention to you as they just kind of clap each other on the shoulder and just kind of hold each other for a second.
Did we?
You watch as when Busby pulls away, they still stay connected by like the forearm, kind of holding each other like that.
When I came in and I saw that you clearly had like this, you had a shot thought out of your neck. I don't know, I guess I knew I had to do something, and I went downstairs to find a medic, and surely you didn't kill Octavius, but it looked like you did. And I know that he was a #1 suspect and all that, and we were kind of searching for him for a while, but I tried my best. I don't know what happened. It seems like I was hit, and I just don't really know. I don't know what could have done this. Do you reckon it's those weird slime people they're talking about?
And you watch as Rosita's son just shakes her head, kind of sighs for a second, pauses, and then picks up what appears to be a blowout again. Well, as I was talking to the Grimoire Legion, Albright told me that apparently this is part of something that, extends further. So we're missing a good majority of this object. So I don't know, whoever did this clearly took precautions to make sure we wouldn't find them. And was kind of they're just talking between each other.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you want us to investigate downstairs as well where the slime is going?
you want to go downstairs.
I do not want to. I'm asking if you want us to go look. Or if you want someone else to look, or like a guard squadron to look, or whether or not you just want to throw something that will set it on
At
fire.
this point, I have no other option than to wait for the Grimwarsian Legion.
But
I
what?
don't know how to access the crypt. If you think you've got a key or whatever, be my guest.
Do you want
It would
us?
be helpful. I could offer you. I'll see what I can offer you. I'll have a look at the treasure stores that we've got here in Amidst, but this is a mining.
We will.
Or this is a farming town, and this is not. It's not somewhere that I think we could.
We can worry about payment and stuff after this is all sorted out. Let's go deal with this thing first, and then we can deal with the next stuff, and we will just keep kind of going problem to problem.
Yeah.
I would honestly be indebted to you. I have no idea how much it would mean to me if you would just help us in this moment.
Also enough to clear our supposed unwanted crime?
I was going to do that anyway, but of course.
Yes! We're not going to prison, guys!
That is a win. All right, let's go downstairs. If you do, can we leave Tudor here in safe care of Rosita-san, and then that way, if the slime monster is there, we will not add to it.
I think you should leave it behind.
We will come back and grab Tudor the second we're done with the crypt. I promise.
What happens if you break the promise?
I will give you my sword.
What about you?
That's how serious I am.
The mask?
No.
You can punch me in the balls.
You punch him in the balls.
What are you gonna do?
I can heal you first next time.
Just do something. We're not gonna make that.
It's not gonna be a problem if you keep your promise.
I can give you this small knife. It's from a different plane.
I'd like that.
Do better.
Come on! Abelard, meet me halfway!
You don't need to go full sword, but something that's not valuable to you. I don't know you're gonna keep your promise.
You'll get your mask back when we're done.
The mask is military uniform. I require it. Give me a second. Let me have a look to see what I have.
Can I get something out of it?
I can give you an ounce of ink.
I want a meal.
We can get you more of that ink. I will buy you a meal if I break the promise.
If you let my friend be lynched and moved away irreversibly, you'll get me a meal. Is that what you're saying?
I can get you that jar of rat penis you wanted.
It's not your friend.
Yes,
It's not alive.
You're making it harder. How? Look, it will be safe here.
It's Tudor.
We're just going downstairs, and then we will come back upstairs, and we will get it, and we can
I'll
go.
never trust you again if you break this promise.
Okay.
Think about it like this.
We promise.
If you bring it downstairs and it starts connecting with all the other goo, then what if it does come alive? And then what if you don't like
Do you want to?
Then it's a bigger friend.
What if it tries to hurt you?
Do you want to have to kill your friend?
I'd never kill my friend.
What's
But what if it tries to kill you?
Then we problem solve.
We're pretty sure your friend slashed up.
Communication is key in any relationship.
You see how angry Quildor can be sometimes? It takes communication.
We're pretty sure your friend slashed open Busby.
Maybe it was an accident.
That gash was not an accident.
He fell down the
Accidents
stairs.
happen.
If we go
You must
downstairs and the goo monster looks like Tudor,
How much more? Like if we think the goo monster is big, surely a backpack won't affect it that much.
your friend's gonna disappear either way.
But then I'll just pick it back up.
This is such a meaningless
No.
argument.
It's like a turtle.
Tudor matters.
Not that I don't love listening to you fucking idiots. I'm gonna need to get the fuck out of this.
Okay.
She's not taking it.
Fine.
Take
Fine.
Tudor.
I would have at the start. conversation, but you've pissed me off so much. I just want you. in
I
the
never
thing that
trusted you anyway. You hit me.
I am very close to hitting you too. I will.
Alright.
I trust Busby. Can we leave Two-Door with Busby?
I trust Busby more than I trust Rosita Sam.
Can we leave Two-Door with Busby then, please?
Is the promise thing still stands?
Promise thing still stands.
Busby?
Please.
I'm like holding my hand to my head.
I'll roll a
just, like,
persuasion check
looking at
if I
him,
have
just like.
Look, I'm not overly fond of
True.
taking something that slashed me open.
This one won't though.
This is our friend.
This one was over at a cart when you got slashed.
This one's not sentient.
This
Just-
is Two-Door.
How about we put?
And kind of reaches out to take the bag, just like in between your fingers.
It's like a backpack.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Busby.
I guess Busby got big fingers.
Yeah.
He's a dwarf. He's like a
You're
It's got
still
stubby,
holding it,
strong
aren't you?
Sausage fingers, man.
You're still holding it, though, aren't you?
my backpack,
Yeah.
like in front of me now.
Yeah. So Busby's not. He's
Okay.
not taking it from you. He's just. You really want me to take this?
The
Yes,
party
please.
says so. I want to keep it.
Did
I'm gonna
I don't
pick.
really like you though. You're a bit mean.
I never said anything mean to you.
Yeah, but obviously I like Rosita someone, and you're really mean.
I was just
Not to you though.
Just alright.
Alright, and kind of holds the backpack and just kind of lets it kind of dangle out to the side.
We'll be
Thank you, Busby.
thanks, Busby.
Thank you. We'll be back
Take
soon.
good care
Did
of
we-
Two-Door.
I
And
don't
feed
think I'll call
feed
it
him
a-
mushrooms.
I don't have any mushrooms.
I'll give you some.
I don't really want those.
I don't want Two-Door to starve.
You will not be
But you
gone.
said it's not a lie.
it's not.
Just play along with their
It's not
delusions.
Behind,
It's easier.
behind May, I'm like,
Just mushrooms.
Kind of just like
What are you
holds the
doing?
head out and just like shifts it to the opposite side.
It looked very picturesque like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Busby.
Thank
We'll
you,
be
Busby.
back
And it
shortly.
just puts them both on the desk
mhm.
and just kind of backs away a step and just leaves as far as possible.
Okay, remember to take it gentle with your wound, and we will be back soon. Alright.
A9, you still got that amulet?
You bet.
Let's go fight a ooze monster.
A9's doing complex calculations in his head right now.
What?
I'm just doing math again.
Ah, I see.
You guys, I'm assuming, exit the office now?
Mhm.
Sure. So, it seems as if the town, just glancing through kind of the arrow slits in the tower, you can see that the town itself is still as deserted as it was when you first arrived in the prison, though it seems to have completely shifted to nightfall
Mm.
now. So you can see, kind of at odds with everything that's happening around you. The sky is perfectly clear, picturesque, and you can see the two moons kind of just hanging in the sky.
So, like, there's no people, like, not even like the tavern's lit up or anything?
It seems like some of the windows of the tavern at the top where you assume rooms are lit, but it seems like the rest of it
Something
Everything
is
seems
going
to be-
on.
quiet.
Did Kruger find out if the goo was like, I don't know, like,
Yeah, no, I
Annoyed
didn't.
by
I didn't
fire.
notice if it was like trying to get away from the fire at all. I didn't notice that.
Are we going down the stairs again?
Mm.
Yeah.
There you guys are descending the stairs now.
Are there any nearby small objects?
the torch.
Yeah, so there are some torches on scones, so they seem to have been snuffed out. There is one that's kind of further down in the actual near the landing of the prison.
I'll just grab one of the closest
Can
torches.
I light it?
Can I grab one of the lit ones?
Can I light that with my fire hand of fire? What's it called?
Firebolt.
It's, I think it's firebolt.
Sure, yeah.
I light
What
the
were
torch.
you? What did you want to do?
No, I remembered my backpack was upstairs. I was gonna keep picking up the slime.
Nah.
But I don't have a spot to hold it anymore, except just in front of me.
You go with the torch. I'm assuming did I light the torch? Is that?
Yeah.
What's the radius, the lighting radius of torch roughly?
Oh, I think it's
20
roughly your-
It's like 20 feet of bright light and then 20 feet of dim light out from that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 40 feet of like light, and then from your dark vision, you can see like 30 to 60 feet onwards if you have dark vision.
Can you burn? Can you put the torch to some of the slime?
I'll do exactly that.
Sure. It doesn't
It's
seem
okay.
to have any effect.
Breathes a sigh of relief.
This is not Tudor.
It's Tudor's siblings.
As you kind of
It could be
watch
his evil
your
brother.
fire in front of the ooze, it doesn't seem to visibly shift or catch a light if you're trying to poke it at the actual ooze itself, but you do notice that as you put the fire closer, it seems as if what you originally thought was a gel here seems to be a bit more fluid than Tudor that you
No, no.
put here.
Not chew. It's two and then door.
My apologies.
Like it's the ship name of those.
Tudor.
Wonderful.
It doesn't
Thank
seem
you.
to be like Tudor
Thank you.
that you are kind of that congealed together and formed like a huge mass.
I am very glad I did not ingest the slime.
This kind of seems to almost have an aeration to it. There's bubbles within it.
What the?
What does it smell like in there?
It smells pretty damp.
Like not just like the bag earlier.
Pretty much.
I'll ask the party before we head down. Alright, who wants to take point?
Maybe someone who can see in the dark.
Oh.
Who has not dark vision?
Oh, I have.
I think you know.
You do.
Yeah, I'll
I
lead
also
as
have
well.
dark vision.
I also have dark vision.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure.
I'm holding a lit
Sure,
torch,
as
by the way.
As a widow.
I'm just holding a lit torch in my hand and I'm just like,
Pictures and trees.
Alright, so as you guys descend,
Do you want me to hold the
You
torch?
have dark vision.
Yeah.
60
Dark
feet there.
vision.
you guys are
If I'm
descending the
leading,
stairs.
I'm
down
on
to-
top.
I'm holding the torch now. A9 gave me the torch.
I'll go at the
Thanks.
back then and hold the torch.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll be third.
I'm leading. I
Yes,
guess.
I believe so. So you guys are descending the stairs now?
Mm.
Sure. So standing at the top of the landing with Dilbert in front of you, it's already hard enough.
Yes.
You
Yes.
As you go further down these stairs, you watch as the light kind of flickers against the wall from one of the sconces down behind like an alcove, and kind of brings light up the staircase, but otherwise completely dark. And you begin to step down and you can feel the slime and ooze kind of squishing under your feet as you kind
I poke it with my cobblestone.
of doesn't seem to, it seems to bounce a bit, but doesn't seem to.
Look, it jiggles.
Oh,
I
inside.
say as I'm the only one that can see what's going on.
We're all holding.
Rather than
We have torches. We can also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
Does
all
everyone
holding
have
lit
a
torch.
torch?
Yeah.
Well,
There's 2 torches.
That'll be- that'll be enough
dark
for
vision,
So yeah,
so.
everyone sees me poke it and say that.
Yeah.
You guys eventually reach the bottom of the landing. And as you go, similar to the blood that was actually smeared across the wall, you notice that this particular landing and this particular staircase that descends down appears to have more and more ooze kind of climbing up the cracks in this stonework and kind of trying to move higher and higher up the further down you go. And by the time you reach the bottom landing, it seems like this ooze is coating almost every single surface It's beneath your feet. It's climbing up the walls, almost hanging off the ceiling in some aspects. You can see it a large kind of drip begins to kind of pull and stretch downwards. Like has a bulbous end that kind of hangs and begins to drop further and further down.
Can I do an investigation check to see what might have happened to the ooze man?
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
6.
It's too hard to see with the limited light that was down here. You didn't get a sense coming down, but now that you're at the bottom landing, which is kind of a relatively cramped space, you can see that there's a couple of crates that are kind of pushed up against the wall, and some of them appear to be open. You can see jackets and things like that that are well worn, kind of spilling out from these crates. It doesn't seem like this landing goes anywhere though. There's completely a blank wall before you, just covered in this ooze, and it's too hard to get out any particular details.
Can I pull out the amulet and...
Wait, just before we do that, do we
Sure.
want to pull out the amulet here in case the ooze man is somewhere hiding? In case he wants
So,
us to open
Can I
it
have a
for him.
perception? Or can, like general, anyone else?
What are you looking for?
The goo, or like an area of the room where the goo is. I don't know, more.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay. That'd be a 12.
12? Sure. You can see that there are kind of patches that don't have any goo adhered to them, though it seems like there's almost little tendrils and kind of almost branches that kind of this goo that kind of stretch across and appear to be kind of attempting to knit themselves together. Though you can see some spots along the wall, there's probably about 5 that are not covered at the moment.
With a 12, do I know if there's any kind of source?
As to why they're going to be covered?
Or as to where the goo is branching from?
With a 12 it'd be hard to work out, though you can see that there is one particular patch that hasn't been filled that appears to be almost in the centre. It's a little bit off to the side, probably off to the left, maybe like a couple of centimetres, 10 centimetres or so. But that's pretty much the only irregularity you notice. The rest of it seems to be relatively spread out at odd intervals.
Anything of particular threat, or can we proceed?
I didn't really see anything too interesting, just slime on the walls.
It's all just really yuck and
Yeah,
gooey.
it's all pretty much the same.
Just keep your wits about you when we pull out the amulet.
We're ready to
I
pull out the
guess-
amulet?
guess so.
I'll do exactly that.
Okay, so as you lift the amulet out of your pocket, you it seems to kind of swing like a pendulum for a second, hanging in front of you as you kind of try and circle it around to get any kind of key to form. And as you cross over the patch that Dilbert had noticed was a little bit off to the centre, you watch as you feel a pull on this pendant as it begins to stretch out from your hand and line up with this circular shape. And you watch as the ooze begins to kind of part and separate, crawling back up the wall and away. You don't notice anything else other than this almost magnetic tug of the pendant towards this particular patch of uncovered area.
Can I let go of the pendant?
Sure, you watch as it immediately and lodges itself sideways at first and then begins to slowly just and rotate what appears to be a circular plate of stone. The gears that you noticed before kind of and begin to kind of separate, segmented, before they kind of stretch out in 5 different arms from the spiral pattern of this pendant. And begin to kind of latch in and turn this stone pendant. And again you hear that as the ooze begins to part, falling away as the stone separates, moving further and further apart, and revealing what appears to be a second landing to a staircase. Completely darkened interior.
I walk forward holding the lit torch.
Just go.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Kind of like-
taking point.
I
Moving it.
think
Yeah, I'll draw like my crossbow.
It's wide enough to fit 2 people.
I'll take point as well. Yeah.
I'll be behind these 2 then.
Yeah.
I'll also come second.
And I'll trail.
As this worn stone begins to grind and shift, separating under the seemingly the spell that was seemingly applied to it, a dark cavernous entrance greets you. Shallow steps are here, coated in cobwebs and mould instead of this ooze. Then they beckon you downwards into darkness.
Is the goo still on the walls, or not so much anymore?
Within the interior, doesn't seem as if it's
Breached it at all?
No.
Guys, I don't know if the goo's down here. It might still be up where we were.
Does the goo look like it's following us or trailing down?
Roll a perception check for me, please.
Can I do that too?
Yep.
Not much.
16.
I think I don't know.
You said 16?
16.
You shot a 9?
7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah.
Sure. So you take a look back, and the ooze just seems to kind of be hanging and stretching down from the ceiling and this opening that's just appeared in the stone. But Kruger, as you turn back to study this ooze, you notice that it appears to kind of be flowing downwards. The more fluid-like substance that it is compared to Tudor is kind of sliding and crawling down towards you.
I point it out to everybody.
I fire a crossbow bolt at it.
But
Okay, as you fire the crossbow bolt at it, you hear the shh, and it just kind of embeds itself in the stone. You've pierced the ooze, but it doesn't seem to be separating or attacking it or anything like that.
Just keep an eye on it.
I walk up and go grab my bolt.
You kind of pull it out.
Reload it back in the crossbow.
hey, Lard, could we do containment and not killing? Like if we know it's down here, can we just close the door?
How would we get out?
No, we're on the other side of the door. We run and then close the door.
It also slashed open Busby. I really don't think we should try to keep...
How do we know it was the goo?
He
Busby
did
said
fall
it
down.
was the goo.
He fell down the stairs, to be fair.
Falling down the
Created a
stairs does
slash
not...
in his torso.
does not cause a slash from his shoulder
wasn't
to
it-
his midriff that exposes his organs.
How would
Wasn't
you
it-
do that? Though?
Wasn't it said that the goo makes people go crazy?
No, that was the poison the
Was that-
blow dart made.
Oh.
There you go.
Anyway, keep your eyes on the goo as well as ahead of you. We do not know what's down there, and we do not know what is behind us.
I still would like just as like a if we can.
You can get the remaining parts of its body. If it doesn't try to kill us, you can take it.
No, I like just if we can, you know.
Cool. If we can. And it doesn't attack us, I will not kill it. If it attacks us, I will kill it.
It's in a corner. I think we could just close the door and get some real more containment people in. Like genuinely.
That is a later problem. Let us go figure out what about this crypt people want.
Okay.
Because that seems like a major issue, especially considering there is half a maddening dot somewhere in this building.
I'm already walking downstairs.
Yep, I'm gonna start following now as well.
Yeah, I'm following.
Yeah.
Descending the steps
It's
with
evil.
caution and trepidation, you go further and further down, well below the surface level it seems. There appears to be no light emanating from the interior of this underground complex, save for the torchlight that you watch around your hands. A minute passes, another minute passes, and you're still descending the stairs. As you reach 5 minutes of heading downstairs, you reach the conclusion of the stairway. You hear a faint sound of stone grinding and shifting behind you.
We still have the amulet,
Reminiscent
right?
of the mechanics of the entranceway that opened to you initially.
Oh,
That was a long staircase.
gods.
We're also stuck down here.
Yeah, now we are.
Before you,
With
with
this
the help
light.
of the dim light in your hands, a long corridor appears. Similar to the staircase you descended, no light appears to be emanating from the corridor itself.
How wide is it? 2 people, 1 person.
2 people. Seeming to have the same kind of shape and I guess decoration as the stairway. You look down this long corridor, you can't see the end, and you watch as at every single, I would say it's probably about 5 feet of spacing, there appears to be a divot in the wall, and it kind of separates and heads back, almost pillar-like.
Cool. Can I pass my torch off to someone else and cast light on my crossbow?
I'll take the torch. Cool.
I give the torch to June,
Bonk.
and then I'll cast light on my crossbow and take point.
Sure. There's kind of a bright white, almost silver at the edges light clings to your crossbow and lights the interior.
Is there any like runes or like drawings or carvings along the walls or anything like that?
Not where you are at the moment.
Okay.
It is hard to see based on the side that's kind of jutting out.
What about the slime? Is it still following us?
You don't see any slime down here at the moment.
The slime that followed us in?
It's probably
Still going down?
What would you guys like to do? You want to go forward in the corridor?
Okay, I don't see if there's any other way. That door is shut.
Forward sounds good to me.
I'll get whoever's taking point to roll a perception check for me. You can both roll, or one person roll with advantage.
I already rolled.
Do you want advantage, or do you want me to roll?
I rolled pretty well, so you can roll as well if you want.
I'll give you advantage then if you roll well.
Oh, I rolled a 17 that one. It's 17.
Sure.
Is it a 17 plus something or just
No,
a 17? Cool.
Sure. So, being that you have dark vision, as you look down this corridor, you can see that at the very edges of your vision, where the kind of the depths of the grey that you can see begin to kind of blend in with one another, you can see what appears to be a slick coating on the floor of this corridor, almost reminiscent of the ooze, though it's too hard to see from your distance.
I approach.
As you make your way down this corridor, moving further and further, one foot after another, you can see along the sides of this corridor various carvings made into the walls. You can see what appears to be in common, the word segment. You can see make it stop,
stuff.
Great.
Kind of all spaced out.
Is this like scrolled or like finely carved?
Can everyone else see
Carved,
this?
like roughly carved.
Is everyone else looking at this as well?
If you're following Dilbert.
Oh yeah.
Ah, this is ominous.
So as you approach the floor of this corridor, you can see the shape that you noticed before does seem to be the ooze that's kind of leading outwards and kind of pulling towards you now.
Same goo.
This is the same dude, yeah.
Guys, this is the same slime that's upstairs.
Wait, is that the slime ahead of us now?
Yes.
I don't know if we should let the two groups meet.
Does it look like? Is it like exactly the same, or is it like? Is there a like coloration difference or a texture difference?
This one looks thicker.
Like
So
Tudor?
almost like
Is it moving towards the stairs?
It seems like it's pulling towards you, yeah.
I've got a question for the group. Do we think it's sentient?
Can we check?
Not particularly.
Is that an arcana? Is it a magic item?
Roll, yeah. I would say
Who
if you're
has-
trying to check if it's sentient,
Who has the highest intelligence?
Alive with the highest arcana rolls, I would think.
And
you can check to see if it's enchanted, or if you want to see if it's living, nature check.
Can I do a medicine check?
Yeah.
Dope.
Crit fail.
No.
You have no idea. You've not in your years
23.
before you were shut down.
Medicine
You've not
check.
seen anything like this, unfortunately.
23 on the medicine check on it.
23. This one doesn't appear to be sentient either at the moment. Does anyone speak Elvish?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. You guys notice that there are some fine scriptures that appear to have been carved at various intervals. They all seem to be the same repeating phrase, and it appears to be the word Zolgar. Zolgar.
If it's not sentient, like, I think we should treat it like a cornered possum sort of thing. Just as a suggestion.
Does the word
Possums are
Zolgar
sentient.
mean anything?
Oh, if it, I meant like with intent. Possums don't really have as much intent, and
Its
Nat one,
intent
I reroll
is
nat
clearly
ones.
palm. It's sliced open basically from shoulder
What
to
is
hip.
it?
That's another
so
nat
would a
one.
possum though.
No.
A cornered possum
Double nat
would.
one for a total of 3.
You're not really from this area, so it doesn't seem to ring a bell to you. But it seems grandiose.
I don't think I would know at all.
Oh, that's rough. 2 nat
Can
ones.
I
tell
do any
her?
checks on the name Zolga? Anything from the books I've read?
Did you share that it was Zolgar? with
Yes.
the party? Sure. Roll a history.
Zolgar.
Anyway.
Oh, you can.
Does
Can you
that-
read that too?
I'm literally a wood elf.
Oh yeah, of course.
is there more beyond the slime? More room?
Yes, you can see that there appears to be the end of the corridor from where you are now. There appears to be the end of the corridor that kind of leads into a
Good
fork.
gold dice.
And you can see 2 separate
Naughty.
corridors that branch off and appear to have light down.
My sucks in the new dice don't work. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Being
Zolgar.
well educated in a lot of the human kingdoms and kind of history and folklore, you know that the name Zolgar is often associated with kind of a folk hero or elvish kingdoms. The kingdom of Albion, which used to rule over this area of the Eprosian Empire before it was overthrown.
What's the name? Albion?
Alionian. So
Oh.
Alyon.
Cool.
IAN. The Alionian dynasty used to rule over this area before it was overthrown by the Eprosian Empire. And one of their
folk heroes who led them into battle and was sadly killed was named Zorda, but eventually actually became a minor deity.
So, the folk hero Zolgar's name is in here. He is an elvish folk hero. This may be his crypt. Just remember, this is a sacred site, so behave properly. Especially you, June.
I spit on the goo.
The spit seems to kind of rest on the top for a second before being kind of gently pulled in.
Okay.
I feel like the slime beast may be ahead, so be prepared. We will spare it if it does not try and kill us.
Well, like a cornered creature pushed into any sort of situation.
If a bear tries to kill someone, you kill the bear.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
That is how most states work.
I
When
wouldn't do that.
Yes, but you are a very special individual.
We can get some bear spray, and remove ourselves from the situation.
No, we cannot get bear spray for the situation. The crypt door is shut upstairs, and unless you have anti-slime spray, there is not much we can do. So at that point, it is our lives or the slime's life, and I know which one I prefer. The sentient beings rather than the non-sentient ooze thing that slashed open a friend of ours.
It
Who
didn't
is current-
stop you from killing the bugs.
I
and
know.
the tall
I'm sad
yellow
about
grass.
that.
Me too.
You carrying
I
around
always
this head.
feel guilty every day.
Is this gonna be a theme?
I hope not.
They're just very
Sentimental.
caring individuals. Yeah.
Difficult.
For a medic, pretty violent.
I'm a soldier. I'm a combat medic. My job is to make sure my friends don't die, and the thing trying to kill my friends does. That's being a soldier. So, I will do my best to make sure you do not die. However, whatever is attacking you, my goal is to eliminate it. So if it doesn't attack us, we'll leave it. It can be. But, in the case it may attack us, it may not.
Can we try and reason first?
We can bring
Of
it
course.
mushroom offerings.
I don't know if you can reason with a slime.
If it attacks me, it gets lit on fire.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
It'll get my sword if it threatens
I'm gonna
us
shoot
or
it on
anyone
fire.
else.
Alright then, we've spent enough time debating this. We've got the answer. If it doesn't try and kill us, we will reason with it. If it attacks us, I will not hold back. Cool? Alright. Forward.
Forward.
So you guys begin to kind of squelch through this goo, kind of feeling resistance, a bit of bounce, but it actually clings to your shoes this time.
Not
So
between the
much
toes.
that it's difficult to walk, but it kind of clings to the sole of your shoe as you move onwards.
How does it feel on my bare feet?
On your bare feet, pretty gross.
Excellent.
Krios kind of fits.
I'm a halfling, I don't wear shoes.
Squishes in between your toes. Not pleasant.
Oh wait, I'm not wearing shoes either. Oh great.
Right?
As you reach
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opening of what appears to be a huge, expansive interior, kind of sectioned off by two corridors that lead into it. We are going to go ahead and end our session there.
No.
Yeah, and see what happens. So thank you guys so much for joining us. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate you so much. And honestly, you know what? Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
I don't want to stop.
There's a lot of.
I am so
we
tired.
keep
My
going,
vision
but
is stopping.
we keep
So
going,
No, it's
but
almost
I'm not
midnight.
going.
no, I
No,
literally have
we
to
James
sleep.
got places to
go.
be.
James needs to go.
I also
so-
have.
Well, that's
We're
fair.
staying on tomorrow.
No, I'm staying somewhere and I don't want to keep them up too late.
That's fair.
Somewhere.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming in and joining us. I really appreciate it. Much love to you all. It's always a pleasure and never a chore. And we hope to see you next time.
Follow our TikTok.
Also Instagram and
peeps.
YouTube.
These are my cheat
Bye.
sheets now.
Like and subscribe.